Oops. I can see my chat. That would probably be smart. There we go. Yeah. Hey, everything showed up. Nice. Oh yeah, I forgot that I can't have picture-in-picture when it's low latency. It's dumb. Wait, I need to turn that down so it doesn't go back through. And now we wait for the game to... I probably should have hit set sail sooner, so it would have loaded faster. Oh well. Let's go. Whoop. Maybe. Oh, we can retire putting fire. You know what? Fuck it. I got an achievement. Nice. Hello. Welcome back, F6. I added a new thing just for, why is okay, the thing's so all the way back there. I'll be looking. That's good. Okay. I added an extra thing just for people like you.
Seen any krakens lately?
And you can see I tried to point but my arms don't move. I just remembered that. At the top of my stream, I have a stream boss now. So I don't want to buy stuff.
Back to work.
Change my ship. We'll run the Reaper stuff. Why not? Because we've got the emissary already. Any Reaper stuff I've got? Gilded Phoenix, that looks fine. So I got a stream boss. So, bits do 1 damage. One damage per bit. A follow does 5 damage. A donation does 100 per dollar, I believe it was. And a subscription does... Yeah, people like you that throw excessive money at me. Oh, there's a second Reaper on the server. Oh god. Oh, he's turning at me? There are no Reaper's chests, though. That's an issue. Let's loot the island a bit, because we've got nothing at the moment. Yeah. Why is the pier so long? But we gotta steal... How much does... I think gifted subs count as regular subs, so they're still 250 damage. But every time the boss is defeated, it adds an extra 100 health on, and for every death, I will gift a sub myself. So every time the boss is defeated, I will gift a sub. But it gains 100 more health every time it's defeated. You can't really gift because there's no one else here. Oh wait, I just took all that out. I'm gonna put stuff into the barrels. Wait, grubs don't go there. Grubs will go into bottom barrel. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly how well it works. I'll slap that boss's ass cheeks. Literally pay to win. just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit, a little pay to win. Everyone loves a little bit of pay to win every once in a while. You're not really winning anything, because you're already subbed. So... the gift would just go to someone else. I've already filled it. Sorry. You're already sub and VIP. Can't really gain anything more. Oh, you know what I did forget to put on was the stream playlist. But I don't have Spotify open, so we'll get around to it later. Or we'll just never put music on and we'll be quiet for a lot of the stream. I need to keep an eye on where that other Reaper is, so he doesn't show up and fucking murk me. What? What's in this? Nothing. Oh, there's a lot of stuff in that one. I don't know. Is there a Super VIP? Is that a thing? Is Super VIP a thing? Golden VIP? I don't know if these are things. I think you're just making up things. I'm going to be honest, I think you're just making things up. Oh yeah, there's stuff in the bottom one. Move everything to the top barrels. Oh, you are just making it up? Because I haven't looked through all the stuff that I can get. Where does that other Reaper going? Oh, he is hanging around. I don't see him. But it'd be good to get to the other side of the map. That's empty. Empty. One chain shot. One of these had a lot of stuff in it. That's still just a decoration. The next time I can get this mod. I probably won't mod you. I've got 2 mods, that's enough. They do their job. When they're here. I can insult my mods because they're not here. I don't think they're here, at least. Or you have to mod 5 other people. That would be annoying. I don't have to mod anyone, I don't think. I don't think I'm a moderator for anyone. Actually, I think I have mod on Ace's streams, so just so I can remove bots. Whoops. It's empty. More wood. There more barrels around here. That's a decoration. Any more barrels? Barrels. The Swedish boy screaming at barrels. Questers, god damn it! You know what? Oh, it's even on the fucking Devil's Roar. You know what? Let's go do it. We'll go do this Devil's Roar quest that I accidentally picked up, and then we'll hand it in to the Reapers. We'll see how much we'll get from doing random stuff. A mod for Veiny, Beanie, Cam, Ingrid, and T. Nice. I just got a message from one of my mods. Wait, I gotta respond to messages. Oh, my mods have arrived. Quick, be quiet. What was I holding? I don't think there's any Twitch primes. No. Okay. What island is this? That Reaper's just sort of sitting there. That's the Devil's Roar down there. Oh, fuck. Is it that island? No. Is it that little one? Yeah. It's Magma Tide. How am I gonna get to the... Oh no, he's turned this way. Oh boy. The simp is back! Yolman Prime. Okay, he's going away at the moment. But it also looks like he's going the direction I need to go. So if I turn towards him and he looks back, he might think I'm coming for him. Oh boy. I am a super intense Minecraft player. I've never heard that one. I didn't. Wait, did I not put sails? I thought I put the Phoenix. I did, it just looks like the normal ones. Let's keep looking down. I forgot where I was going. I hope he doesn't see me as a threat, even though I am a Reaper. I am running a Reaper emissary, but I am not a threat. You are a much bigger ship than me, I am assuming from the mark. Like the splodge on the map. That you are a bigger ship. I'm looking down because that's where my chat is. That's why I'm constantly... Don't call me a sussy punk. I turned the sails the wrong way because I was reading chat, goddammit. That's why I'm constantly looking down. I'm reading chat when I'm looking down. Okay. I'm going... I need to go down more. There aren't any Reaper's chests on this map though, which makes me sad. I need to turn in 4. Oh, one just spawned. Are you kidding me? How far away is it? I might turn around. They're both the other sides of the fucking map. Are you kidding me? You know what? Fuck it. We're turning the ship around. We're going for the Reaper's chest. That's what this stream started for. That's what we're doing. Fuck the quest. It was a side quest anyway. I don't really need to mark it. I need to mark them. Oh, wait. I need to mark Reaper's outpost is what I need. Reaper's hideout. How far away? Ooh, kinda. Oop, I get on the wheel. Fuck, I was turning it the wrong way. I need to turn back a bit. The other Reaper's probably looking at the map like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I just left that island and I'm going back to it. They probably know I'm going for the Reaper's chest. Oh, and my alt tab I can see. Wait, oh, that's my sails. I thought I was gonna hit a rock. I don't know if either of my mods are still here, but should I join chat if should I join the VC if I'm still, if you are still here? Should I join VC? Or should I just continue soloing? I need to turn a bit more. Just a tiny bit. Oh, I'm against the... I put the wrong sail facing the wrong way. That's why I'm going so slowly. There we go. I don't think my bot's here. MuffinInHats, if you are in chat, should I join VC? Can I join VC? Pulled towards the storm. Wait, do I have the Reaper's costume? I do. Haha. I don't think they're here anymore. Why does it keep turning towards there? That other Reaper's still sitting at that place. He's sitting at that island. Oh wait, that's the Reaper's hut. I'm like, why did I mark that? He's leaving now. Still getting pulled away. The wrong one. I need to angle the sails. We need to get this. We need to go fast. I can read chat if I alt tab, but then that means I can't. that things could go wrong and I won't be in the game. Ace, should I join VC? Or can I join VC? Is that a question? Wait, I need to reset. There we go. You saw nothing. I don't know what you saw actually. Oh, you just saw the numbers pop up. That's not really something important. I'm shifting away from the Reaper's chest again. Yes, I do have to ask. Fuck.
I'm gonna read fanfic in the middle of it, because I'm doing nothing better.
I think that's the perfect thing to do while running Reapers.
So it's gonna be Passerine, which we're starting from like chapter 5-ish, because that was where me and Ace were last. Unless I'm not restarting it, because it's taken us like 4 or 5 hours to get here. Or if you want, Passerine. Shit.
What is Passerine?
Very, very like angsty SBI or Sleep Boys Incorporated fanfic. No, we spell over, putting pants on. And
oh, I have to be on the fish, don't I?
I'm gonna act like I processed any of that. Essentially, we're at about chapter 5. major character death has happened. I don't know the.
Several.
I've already seen this fic as well.
Two
so
major
like,
character deaths have happened. Actually, 3.
how many characters have died? I don't know.
We had the mum one. We
She
had
wasn't major.
Nikki.
I
Oh,
almost
she's
crashed into
major
Neither
in
of
my
them were
heart.
major. Remember
Nikki
that?
died already? Damn.
Yeah, she blew herself up.
Yeah.
So
Do you want
Right.
the
Tommy.
Okay. So I want to edit my title. Edit stream upload.
So I'll give you the quick rundown of what's happened so far. The basis of the basis of the world. I need to mute your stream, Peter, because I'm confused. I'm getting confused by hearing myself. So what happened is it's basically Technoblade and Philza were running the Arctic Empire, and then it's kind of basically all one like solid empire thing. Phil fucking dipped at one point, and then like Techno's like, oh, that's sad, and then goes, well, I guess I'm gonna go abandon the thing as well. I'm gonna go walking, and as he goes walking, he comes across a kingdom that's had peace for 100 years. And goes, interesting, must check it out. Well, lo and behold, guess who runs the kingdom? It's Philza. Philza has a wife and 2 kids. Those 2 kids being, you know, Tommy and Wilbur, and the wife obviously being Kristen. Second chapter, essentially what happens is Techno is basically volunteered to give Wilbur, who is at this point about 14, 15, 16ish in that area.
Really
Tommy's
different
about
ages.
6. Shut up. Is about 5 or 6 at this point. I don't actually remember the ages.
Sorry, I'm the age 20, 19, and 18 at the same time.
Alright.
We celebrated them all this year.
I know. Sorry, I'm running it quick. Essentially, what happens after that is that, like, the Wilbur and Techno, like, you know, they train for like 3 months. Kristen fucking dies.
Yep. It's the misogyny.
More like it was already set up for her to die anyway. Like, you know, she was very ill and sick, and that she didn't really spend much time out with the family anymore. And it essentially is the catalyst for Phil going, you know what, I'm a dip, and he jumps out a window and flies away. I'm not kidding, that actually happens.
Yeah.
Thrust like 15-year-old Wilbur into like, yeah, you're king now, buddy old pal. And he's like, I don't want to be king. And essentially everyone's like giving him the middle finger and going, get used to it, bitch.
Yeah. This
Technoblade is the advisor to Wilbur, and then like it skips about 10-ish, 8 years forward, where Wilbur, like everyone's older now. Everyone's old.
Everyone has aged.
Everyone has aged. War is starting. There is the Green Army from the north has taken over a town. You know, it
I'm
burns down
assuming
to the
that's
ground.
Dream.
Yeah, congratulations. You have the whole fic. I'm not even kidding, by the way. So what's happened is they've had to basically, and what he's done is he's done this massive conscription and done every able-bodied person in the kingdom to fight, male, female, doesn't really care. You're over the age of 18, come fight for us, kid. You're not over the age of 18, still come fight for us, we'll be right. Yeah. And what ends up happening is, of course, like you see, like, Wilby? Fuck me, I'm going, bye! I'm going!
That reminds me of this Tommy Innit moment.
Shut up! Anyway, Nikki. You meet Nikki, Tabo, someone else, I think, maybe. I don't remember anymore. And what happens after that is they go to war. They go to this valley called the Blue Valley or something. I can't remember. They have this massive battle. A bunch of people die. Wilbur blows the horn and then you find out that they're like Nikki and Puffy. Sorry, Puffy's there too, but like they never outright say it. Can we yell that? They never outright say it or anything. You just kind of inferred that I think that it's Puffy personally, but like I could always go into the chapter and figure out, like go on to the whatever, figure it out. they blow up the whole mountain. It blows up, it crushes someone. Sapnap's alive because he's like leading this bit of the army, by the way, into this valley. I forgot to say that. If you can connect any of the dots, congratulations, you're doing better than me. And what happens is, like, he goes, "How dare you kill my lover?" Because the fucking years ago and years, like, they had this massive flashback where years and years ago, he went through this battlefield going, "How dare Technoblade join?" Because Technoblade's a fucking god and so is Filzer. And then, like, "How dare the god of the blood god join the other side?" Killed everyone but him. But Sapnap, sorry, I mean, probably should say that one. Lost his lover and he was sad about it, so he's like, "I'm gonna get revenge," and he got his revenge. He's like, "I don't care that I'm a chess piece, I'm gonna get my revenge." Then he throws a dagger, like one of Technoblade's, and that's the important bit here, apparently. Throwing knives at Tommy and he like one-shot KOs him in the heart, and then he falls and dies, and that's basically what's happened. And now, sorry, Filzer came back right before he died, so it's like an extra angsty little bit. Congratulations, I'm remembering stuff afterwards. Stop opening wallpaper.
Oh my god.
This has happened in 4 chapters, by the way.
I could have heard their voice when they were talking about Kristen's death.
Shut up! I was not happy. This is 76,000 words long.
That's not a Skelly Galley.
That's a real galley.
No, it's just a break.
Okay, I just changed my wallpaper by accident and it's not what I wanted it to.
What is it?
I don't have any wood.
Anyway, so that's what's happened so far. Basically, Tommy's dead, and they're all gonna like do some shit. I know what happens next.
Stop chasing me! I'm a Reaper. You're meant to go away.
I am quitting with sexuality. That is my
There's so many people here.
That background is my screensaver. I think it used to be. I don't know if it still is. All right, so I'm gonna read you out the notes for this chapter because I think they're funny. This is just 7.6k thousand words of characters working through grief and yelling at each other about it.
Me the past week.
My wheel's still broken?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, I'm not ready for it. This is Phil's point of view, and I'm not ready for it because, like, Tommy's fucking dead. Man got like hit. What was I say? Shot? But he got like hit.
In this
He's 15, and as it's been said before, so don't worry. That's as old as he'll ever be. You know.
Oh my god, that's so dramatic.
I'm not kidding. I've said it becomes a massive plot point a little bit later. Spoiler alert.
He is gonna ram me.
I like how
Fuck
Peter is
Fuck off!
I like the context that Peter is. He's telling him to. He's trying to do Reapers, and I'm reading fanfic to him. I haven't gotten there yet, but we're about to get there. My pottery class got rescheduled, and I'm sad.
That dude's gonna be very disappointed when he looks in that ship and there's fucking nothing.
You're a level 1 Reaper. We'll just sell your flag off. Actually, has no value, so.
It does. Any flag does. Anyway.
Alright.
Literally
Alright, now we're gonna. Did you start? Should I go into multi just for you?
I keep trying to itch my nose because my nose is itchy.
Did I get a
from
gift
cat,
sub to Jonesy?
But my hood is covered in cat fur, so it just makes it worse.
I think I got a gift sub by accident.
I know how that works. How that feels. Sorry, not works. I know how that works.
It
I
works.
got
Cat fur on my jumper muffin.
I got gifted a subscription to that guy who plays Phasmophobia and shit. What?
Nice.
Who's gonna tell them that a lot of people play
no.
Phasmophobia?
There's this one guy that me and Muffin watch.
Alright, read us the
F1 guy?
next chapter,
In
Muffin.
Alright, chapter 5, I think. I need to go look through our DMs.
How much has happened in 5 chapters?
This happened in 4 chapters, thank you very much.
This is the start of
wait,
chapter
yeah,
5.
yeah.
This is the start of chapter
That's
5.
words.
To be fair, every chapter's like 10k words.
Hey.
There's only 7 chapters.
Hey, how you going?
76,000.
The
Ow! What
longest
the fuck,
chapter I've ever
dude?
written was like 6,000 words.
I respect people who can write 10,000, but I also
Were you
remember the
standing on the mermaid?
Yeah, I spawned on top of the mermaid.
Maybe I should get into writing fanfiction.
I always-
I want to write stuff that like characters and plots and stuff, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not gonna
Think
tell
that's
you
fair,
what
man.
fandom it's from because like I'm not telling you that, but I remember that I was like, I'm gonna read a
Oh.
64,000
Hey, how'd
word
you go, man? How'd you die?
fanfic in one day. I didn't, by the way. I didn't do it in one night. I started at like 11:30 and I
How'd you die,
finished
dude?
at 1 o'clock and then I was like, there is like so much chapter left of this. Oh my god. It was interesting to try and do.
I died,
Yeah,
spawned
I
on top of
lost.
a mermaid, and they got stabbed.
Oh wow. Nice.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Peter.
I'm talking to a dude on the ferry. Well, I'm gonna go now. Try and do
The
more
what,
Reaper
sorry?
stuff.
Bye.
Have
Ferry
fun
on
on
the
the
dam.
ferry.
Bye.
You
It
sound
sounds like he's saying
unintimidating.
fairy. And I was like, is that meant to be a slur?
I'm going through the emotes I have now because apparently I have 3 subscriptions and one that I only actually paid for.
I have
Yeah.
2.
I have
thing-
4 actually.
Good thing one of these doesn't have emotes.
Johnsy, Willis Connor, that guy who plays
I'm getting there eventually, maybe
and then Peter.
at
Yeah.
some point.
I'm too
Well,
broke to
there's
subscribe
7
to many
people that need emotes, Muffin.
I'm not fucking one of them, but
Yeah, you
I
are.
Yeah,
don't
you are.
care. Oh, wait, I am. Shit, probably should make those emotes for you, huh? Anyway, I'm
No,
gonna
you
go
don't
read
have the sound
fanfic.
thing.
Anyway, Passeroon, chapter 5. Oh man, I remember what happens now. Oh, this is literally. I'm not. People weren't kidding. I had a stroke. Leave me alone. I'll take my
Ready for them
retainer
to
out.
stutter the words on one single word for like 10 sentences?
Yeah, I start swearing. It's so funny every time.
You'd be like da 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 da. Fuck! Fuck!
Oh, I
It
just-
really ruins the mood because I do it in the middle of angst. It's so good.
You did it when Kristen was dying. You're going.
I was.
Attempt number 2
Anyway.
at the Reaper's chest. Do you reckon all those guys have left?
No.
Good luck, Peter. I believe in you. He first held Tommy in a sunlit room. He'd come earlier than expected. It was such
Oh,
a
is
small
this
thing.
that fucking fic where someone made an animatic of it and then everyone
Yes.
was crying over it on Twitter? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yes.
I know what's going on now. Okay, that makes sense.
If you were following me, I was half crying over it on Twitter. I was more crying IRL and dealing with it that way because I don't deal with my problems on Twitter. I just talk about them there. Sometimes.
There are problems on Twitter.
I am a problem on Twitter. Someone take my internet away.
I am Twitter.
Oh.
Muffin, I've turned you up so the stream can hear you better.
Oh, alright then. I'll move my mic closer for the ASMR experience. I was taking my retainer out. You guys didn't need to hear me doing that. You really didn't need that.
I like the scale
It is
going.
somehow hollow and like meaty at the same time.
Why could a kid skelly slipped? What was that done?
Peter!
I'm scared. There's noises.
Good, be scared.
I'm a Reaper. Actually, I didn't put my
I was
adversary
gonna
flag back
bring
up.
in like really
Reaper-
dramatically sad music into this, but I can't be bothered anymore. You know what? I'm gonna go find sad music to play here. 1 minute.
Copyright free side music.
Had
Yeah.
my violin, I'd just play it right now.
Very sad piano music,
Yes.
background music.
Only piano.
Only piano or cinematic? We can put cinematic in there too. That's not long.
Peter, what the fuck is the resolution? It's 648p.
What? Did I break it again?
It's 648p.
Oh no,
Alright.
I might
How
have
do you
loaded
do
it.
that?
Oh, I fucked that up.
What the fuck?
I'm not a creature that'll lead you, believe it, petrified. Peace of mind, peace of mind. Skip that
There
big
was
and a
so
bit
many
of a
notifications with that. I thought this was the making my way downtown thing for a second.
Is that
Alright,
better?
we've got the sad music.
How's that one? Did it change?
Wait,
I don't know.
Fuck.
give me a second, give me a second, give me a second.
Sorry, I accidentally disconnected the bot.
I just got rid of that. Are you kidding me?
Am I on top of the Reaper chest? Oh, I'm nowhere near.
Wait, how do you listen to the bot?
Go and mute it.
Alright, back to what I was.
Oh my god, that's so loud.
Yeah, you gotta
personally-
turn it down. I have to turn it down all the time.
I personally like the comment I put in Connor's server.
What did you just put in Connor's server? I should have been watching and I wasn't.
Anyway. Ow.
I have stickers, right? I'm not doing this right now. I've got stickers, right? Because I joined an author that I like, Discord, and I got stickers from it. And single-handedly, in the span of 5 seconds, I was like, actually, stickers aren't that bad. And then I saw an Among Us sticker, and I was like, actually, they're pretty bad. In the span of 5 seconds, because I had like a shit-eating grin of like a character version of one of the Phils. I think it may have been Bones in the Ocean Phil, and it was so funny because it was Wolfie's art.
I was trying to talk to Noah the other day, and the stickers kept popping up, and they were like overly happy and that, and I was like, this is not the mood this
I
time.
remember hearing about it as it was happening, like, I'm really trying here, but this is not going good, and I sent you a meme about it.
Discord stickers.
I'm struggling to
up.
type now because
Yeah,
of
no,
Discord
I'm typing
stickers.
like, oh yeah, no, I'm alright. Like the breakup was tough, but I'm doing okay. And there's this thing in the corner that's like, hey, let's party.
You know what didn't age well? That thing where we did the other month or whatever in the Witless SMP, it's like, oh, you know, if I ever had a breakup or anything, I would like just make a small post about it, like crying, and it's like, I'm doing good.
I
think-
don't remember that.
It was like, because we're talking about that guy who just left Connor's server because no one answered him.
Anyway, I've put it in the Discord if you want to see the exact thing that I said.
Bro, you could have just screen capped it.
Yeah, but you need the GIF. All right, the GIF is the best bit about it. It's I want to die, you know, and and Discord is in the corner with it's basically a Rambo nay-naying GIF to explain it to stream
Where did the
because
Rambo
I'm a
go?
filthy Rambo sub.
Hello?
Hello, we're streaming
that?
and I'm reading fanfic.
Where did oh, someone stole it. Well, time for a fight.
I wonder if someone stole it.
I'm coming for you really slowly because I'm going against the wind.
You're going probably there. Yeah. Anyway.
Can we start this?
Yeah,
Sorry
that-
for
this
interrupting
music's
you so
getting
much.
me in the mood.
Alright. He first held Tommy in a sunlit room. He had come earlier than expected. He was such a small.
The megaphone!
I was doing the Seth Rogen laugh.
What?
Have you not heard the Seth Rogen laugh?
I thought you said you were talking to
Here,
Seth
here,
Rogen.
let me do the Jimmy Fallon laugh. Quick, someone try to tell me a joke.
Comedy.
Cock joke.
Have you heard frickin' Jimmy Carr's laugh?
We are off topic.
We haven't been on topic the whole time.
What's the topic?
When were we
Wow.
on topic?
Is this a
Good
hot
point.
topic?
When I have read
I
the
am
same
the hot
2
topic.
lines twice.
Where
Do you
is
want me to
he
read it a
going?
third time?
The Reaper chest.
He'd come much earlier than expected. It was such a small thing.
Nice.
So much smaller than his brother had been. I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Shut the fuck up!
I can imagine Tommy suing just for that.
I solved the problem, don't worry.
What did you do?
Anyway.
The
Ah,
midwives had told him there was a chance they could lose him within the hour, and his wife had cradled the newborn against her chest. Oh, something fucking coming off my sock. Sobbing against his pale skin. Shut up, my socks are like fucking older than my sister and they're falling apart. Leave me be. My
Why?
baby should... they're ankle socks! I don't wear ankle socks anymore!
I'm getting sidetracked. Give her socks.
My baby
Peter,
should
stop unmuting
cry.
yourself.
My little fighter. Be brave, Tommy. Be...
Oh.
Nope.
I thought that would
Strong.
Peter.
But Tommy was so... What the fuck? But Tommy was so... What the fuck? But Tommy was still in his mother's arms. Dude, that'd be like a triple take for that. Ilza had stood at her bedside watching her coo and cry at a...
I keep kicking the butt by accident. Sorry, I'll add the music back in. I'll find some other one. 'Cause it seems to keep fucking making me want to kick it.
Watching her coo and cry at a baby that did not stir. He had lived a million lives, and all its miseries combined could not compare to the pain of being a mourner at his son's birthbed. And as the minutes turned on, heedless of the— I'm trying to— There's a spit on my mouth, leave me be.
Sorry, I'm adding the music back in.
Why can't I hear it?
One sec, it broke.
Heedless of the growing abyss inside his chest, he found that he could not even cry. It was a sadness too big for tears, a grief too infinite to measure. And when his wife had offered the baby to him to give him his chance at saying goodbye despite her own despair, Philza did something he would never forgive himself for. He hesitated. He looked at the silent bundle in her arms, dead before he could even live, and felt a fracture of and I knew it was coming too.
Anyway,
What the fuck is the music?
the music variety has very much changed since you last met Matthew.
To give him his chance at saying goodbye, despite her own despair. That's not the right line. He felt the fracture in his heart grow. This was the fate of humanity.
I'm sorry. I'm fucking little pressing it at the pot.
Eventually, it did not matter if— Fuck!
Wait, what have I joined on?
It did not matter if Tommy lived
We're reading
to the
fanfic.
next year,
Okay,
the
I
next
got that
decade,
part.
or the next breath. He would still one day die. I'm reading sad fanfic, but fucking someone just keeps bringing in Kevin MacLeod music.
Can I ask which pairing this is?
This isn't a pairing. This is more found family than anything else at the moment.
Okay,
People die. We're on chapter 4 and so much has gone on. A war is come and gone, my guy.
okay,
It's interesting.
okay.
Where are we?
I'm here for this.
He would still one day die, bitter and numb and hateful of the world. Philza wondered if it were better that Tommy died now, before Phil could grow to love him more. People mourned the fucking— I'm muting the bot just for this. People mourned the beauty of a wilting rose, but an unblooming bud would never give a quieter heartache. But Tommy wasn't a flower. He was Tommy. He was Phil's son. And he loved him now as much as he could love him later, though later might never come.
It's actually on sad music now.
I'm gonna read you out the name of the thing that's just gone in. Sad background music by Kevin MacLeod. Emotional instrumental, mostly piano. No copyright music. It reads like a Wish listing. And he loved him as much as he could love him later, although later might never come. But his arms were made of stone. They would not rise, as much as he willed them to. If he held Tommy now, he knew he would never let go. He would follow his baby to his grave. And then there he was, sneaking past the guards and the midwives, passing under a grieving god's notice. He climbed into bed, smiling at his mother, apparently oblivious, or a moon, as often starry-eyed children were, to the anguish that coated the very air of the room. "Is this my brother?" Wilbur asked, leaning over the baby in his— Shut the fuck up! In his mother's arm. "May I hold him, mother?" A lump formed in Phil's throat. He turned away before Wilbur could catch sight of his face. And when he turned back around, Wilbur had Tommy in the gentle crook of his arms. The sunlight slanted over them.
How do I reverse controls in this? I don't know how to do that.
Phil wanted to remember them like that forever. His two beautiful
Why
sons,
are they Xbox
immortalized in
controls?
gold.
I can't change them.
Guys, I'm trying to listen to Tommy dying.
He's already dead!
Wait, when did I get unmuted?
Wilbur's earth-brown curls hid his expression as he bent over the baby. If my face starts bleeding again, I'm gonna fucking rage quit.
I am always
Murmuring-
attracted to characters when they're in fanfiction. Because, like, I'm not attracted to Wilbur Soot in real life. But I hear earth brown curls and I'm like, want me a piece of that.
Bang boy. wonder if I
Yeah,
can
that's pretty
force
fair,
the Meg
actually,
on
thinking
me,
back
like
to it. All of my, like, this is heavy quotation marks, all of my, like, fake crushes or whatever had only in fanfic. Look at the bitch and go, oh, that's... alright then. But then they're explained, really, you're like, that's a good meal, I want some of that cake, you know? Where the fuck was I? Earth brown curls hid his expression as he bent over the baby, murmuring something Phil almost didn't catch, and then the baby began to cry. Wilbur pulled back, astonished, his face drawn in awe. What is it? He asked frantically.
It's falling, I want to fix it.
I just realized we're in the gaming channel.
Wait,
Yeah.
Epic gaming.
did I do something wrong?
Did I get the Meg on
No,
them?
Phil sobbed. I was playing video games in here earlier, alright? Leave me be. No, Phil sobbed, falling to his knees before the three of them. His lovely, laughing wife, he's fucking dead. His kind, bewildered Wilbur, and his loud, shrieking Tommy. You did everything right, my boy.
Accurate.
You're perfect. To be fair, out of this, 2 out of 3 are dead right now.
There's
Currently speaking.
The music is crescendoing.
Now Wilbur held his brother.
Hey
The
guys,
baby
can
no
you
longer.
stop shooting me while I
Phil-
fix my ship? Ah!
Hey guys, can you stop filming please?
Fucking shot me off of my ship.
I can only imagine why.
EA.
It's in the game.
They killed the Meg!
A baby no longer, but still so small to his chest. I'm crying from laughter right now. What the fuck? I'm reading angsty fanfiction. Why am I crying from laughter of all things?
What was it? Hurt comfort?
This isn't. There is no comfort.
I can't even repair it.
What's the master thing fucking rail?
Is that you could get one or the other.
You want to hear the? You want to
Every
read me to
time.
read the additional tags to you? It's just angst.
Okay.
There is hurt comfort. I lied to you. I don't know fucking
And
when. But
lying
apparently
again?
there's comfort here somewhere.
It's the end. It has a vaguely, possibly happy ending.
It's not happy though. I know the ending.
Hopeful then.
I'll read the tags to you. Alternate
the
universe royalty, found family, but make it angst. Sleepy Boys
I
Inc.
forgot
Freeform,
that
Wilbur and
existed.
Tommy and Wilbur are princes. Technoblade is a feral god that pulls a pickup from the woods. Accurate.
Please don't tell me this is
That's the
Minecraft
fix.
issues.
It fucking is. Mentions of Techno's voices. Wilbur also has voices. Techno decides to help, but he has nothing better to do, or so he says. No beta, we die like Flamingo, Kirk, / comfort, character death, specific tags found before each chapter.
Hey
This
guys,
one,
my ship is on
death
fire.
and
Can you
fiction
help?
brief. Where did he die? This is not the right point. Alright, there we are. To his chest as they walked through the quiet, empty camp. Wilbur spoke the words he'd first spoken to his brother all those years before, over and over, like an
It's
enchantment.
okay, my ship's not on fire anymore.
Shut the fuck up, Peter. Or a prayer to bring him back to life once more.
Hey, how
I
you
will love
doing?
you forever. I will love you forever.
The Meg's
I
back.
will love you forever.
Peter, I'm trying to cry. Shut the fuck up.
One sec, I'm just gonna like sever you just for a second, just so we can
Was
get
never
through
muted
this.
before.
But this
And then I
time,
unmuted
Tommy
it.
did not wake up, and Filza was still made of stone. He walked the ruins alone. Night had
Looking at Peter's expression on his stream and he did not look impressed.
I'll unmute you, Peter, just for you. Shut the fuck up there. Night had fallen, but the moon and the stars were hidden by heavy clouds, cloaking the earth in darkness. The sky itself was in mourning. Tubbo moved through the gloom, the torch in his hand creating shadows that seemed to reach out towards him like helpless ghosts. This fucking music. He stepped mindlessly over the rubble.
I thought that was my game music, I forgot it was in the bot.
His feet meeting dirt and stone, sometimes the flesh of a fallen comrade, or an enemy, but it did not, what the fuck?
I'm back
But
on
did
the
that
mountain.
matter anymore?
It's starting.
That had not been as lucky as him. His ears were still ringing from the explosion and his bones felt like a house of cards, one whisper away from collapsing. But he was alive. But he was alive. Fucking, we're not even gonna start it today apparently. when all the others were not. When the dust had settled, the survivors had come crawling out of the wreckage Tubbo had counted. They had been warned, of course. They had heard the king's signal and ran as fast as they could, but not all of them were fast enough. The royal army had left the capital city with 20,000 soldiers. In the end, only 800 remained. They got buried in an explosion of the whole fucking mountain, little FYI. I'm
Oh,
not
yay.
actually exaggerating either, that is literally what happened. Welcome to this fic. It's dramatic, for no reason. Not all of them had been lost to
14-year-old
the
is working out their
explosion.
mental health problems.
Alright, at least they're doing it to this and not Voltron, alright? Calm
Yeah,
down.
At least it's this, and it's not getting hit by a car like my brother.
Oh.
What?
Okay. That was very sudden.
I mean, I did mine to fucking Voltron. At least some 14-year-old's gonna do it to, like, something slightly... No, this isn't even better.
No, my
Peter, why the
brother
fuck
got
do you
in
have
a
a timer
fight
on
with
your screen?
someone
I was gonna
because
try
he's
and do the reverse
angsty,
controls, but I
and
don't
then
know how
ended
to
up,
do
and
the
that guy
fixing
ended
the-
up trying to hit him with a
Whoops.
car. So
Bro, I
anytime
just watched
anyone,
chokers and got bullied. What the hell kind of teenage angst is this?
I
My
haven't
brother's
written any
stupid.
sort of fiction after the age of 15, so...
I don't even think I wrote it.
No,
I
that's
used to
true.
write.
I
I don't
did
know
a
how to read
poem
or
for
There
an
are
write.
English
27 stories.
Alright, Harry Potter fan. Calm your titties.
It was never about that, actually, surprisingly.
Most had already been dead by the time the mountains fell. Oh, fuck. I started too early. 1 minute. Not all of them had been lost to the explosion. Most had already been dead by the time the mountains fell, slain by enemies and their cavalry. But the smell of sulfur still hung on the air like an accusation. Following Tubbo as he
There
made
you
his
go, Ace.
rounds. Shut the fuck
I
up.
don't think the person who wrote this knows what sulfur smells like.
I don't know what sulfur smells like either in my defense, but like...
As someone who has been
I don't
to
like
this town in New Zealand called Rotorua, where there are many... There's a huge volcano and many pools of sulfur. It smells like rotten eggs. The whole town smells like rotten eggs, and it's not very angsty. It's just kind of stupid.
Shh, shh. You're ruining the angst. Come on, can't ruin the angst.
I just want you all to know that there's a pungent smell of bad farts while all this is happening.
The best
Thank you,
bad.
Peter.
That's not
It
Peter.
wasn't me!
Matthew.
He was meant to be looking for other survivors,
Surprisingly, it wasn't Peter.
Ace,
but
I
Tubbo would
hate
come
you
to
for
know a
this.
thing or two about lost causes. He could walk this valley for days, and all he'd find were the broken remains of the two armies, a mass grave that would honor no one. Honor is spelt weirdly because this is American. In a century, people would walk this land again and see only green hills blooming with blue flowers. The prince was dead, that's what they were saying. Killed in the final, ow, my fucking hip, moments of the war, its last casualty. A month ago, Tubbo would watch the prince laugh on a balcony, his face lit from within. Now there was no light left anywhere. Overhead, the clouds broke open, and the heavens began to weep. That's a fancy way to say it started pissing down rain.
Wait, honor's spelled differently in American?
Yeah,
They don't have the U. They dropped the U in a lot of
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you not know this?
I've always spelled honor with just H-O-N-O-R.
Well,
You've watched
autocorrect
Avatar
does
The
not
Alright,
Last
mean
Airbender
American.
without subtitles.
I actually never watched it,
Why
Watch
not?
that.
because I didn't watch a lot of anime. I watched some, but it was all the crap ones.
You know, this is very annoying what you've done to me, Ace.
Good.
How long is left? 8 minutes? Fucking hell.
Oh, did his reverse controls thing.
Reverse, reverse. Reverse, reverse. Anyway,
Very difficult
it's raining
to see.
outside. Techno could hear the raindrops
Lightning.
pounding against the roof of the tent. This is actually a serious part, guys. Shut up, actually don't calm down, shut up.
Calm down.
This is
Shut
the
up.
I know what
most
happened.
I've read in ages.
It's
actually
been
really
literally
like
like
this
3-4 weeks since
We were
I
going to watch
started writing. I started reading this, by the
Started
way.
writing this, hey?
Reading. Shut up. I don't speak the Englishes horribly well. Calm your
We know.
titties.
They are
It's
big.
coming into the light, finally.
Techno could hear raindrops pounding against the roof of the tent, creeping through the cracks. That's a shit tent then. But the boundless cold he felt was from something else entirely. He'd collapsed on the ground the moment they'd entered the tent, shivering with his arms around his knees, unable to feel anything beyond the relentless chill. I'm fucking muting the bot, I haven't done it yet.
Kick it.
There we
7
go.
minutes left.
Just disconnect it.
What's this timer for?
How long I have to
He clapped-
reverse controls?
Shivering with his hands around his knees, unable to feel anything beyond the relentless chill. It felt as if his bloodstream had frozen over, with brutal icicles stabbing into him from the inside out, and when he tried to duck his head into the dark embrace of his arms, a single blue petal had fallen against his skin. No. He'd run his hands roughly through his hair. Oh, little FYI here, Tommy, literally the morning that he died, essentially braided the Techno's fucking hair and put all, like, shit in it. This is what's happening now. Put, like, flowers in it, an actual chip.
Actual shit?
You ruined it! I didn't think of that until you said it! Now I'm just imagining Techno's pink hair brown washed. God.
Pulling pink strands out from the roots in his desperation to remove the last of the morning
Stop
glories
eating
out of out of the tangles of his braid. Blood flowed from the places where his fingernails scraped against his scalp, but Techno found that he didn't care. He couldn't care. The whole world could burn around him. Did I have it? No. Around him, and all he would be thinking about were the flowers still caught in his hair. I don't know how to say this. The saturine scent, like poison in his lungs. Is that how I say that?
Probably not.
I could never actually properly read stuff because I don't know words. Oh, saccharine! My mistake.
Macarena.
He clutched the
Macarena. Hi.
he clutched the flowers in his hands, bloodstained and trembling, and he threw them.
Mash.
I couldn't get to the wheel.
Anyway,
This is something me and Buff have been reading for like past like 3 weeks ago. And now it's just fucking washed out with memes.
we have a Twitter thread for it. Do not even act like this is the first time.
Add the Macarena into it.
Alright, where's my phone?
How long is left? 4 minutes. Fuck's sake. If I just
Check
never let go
every
of
minute.
the
It's
forward
only
button.
gonna be a minute less every minute.
If I just never let go of
Wow.
the forward button.
He clutched the flowers in his hands, blood-stained and trembling, and threw them as far across the room as he could, where they landed at the feet of the king. Wilbur sat at the cot his brother slept, used to sleep in. Clutching the broken boy to his chest, he was rocking back and forth, muttering words Techno could not comprehend as he pushed the hair back from Tommy's pale, unmoving face. Dead. He's dead. He's dead and gone forever. The voices were screaming, clawing against the walls that Techno had set around them, and had tried to maintain for years. Foot hurts. I'm like putting it on a bookshelf. 1 second. All for Wilbur. All for Tommy. Now one of them was dead, the other was dying. There's no doubt about it. Wilbur would not survive this, neither would Techno. Blood, the voices demanded. Blood for the blood god. His hands curled into fists so tightly. Peter, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Commendation unlocked going bananas. Fuck, I walked off the pin because I was trying to straighten up.
I just almost saw that. Oh, where are we?
I have Broom
Now
stuck in
one
my
of-
head while you were reading this.
No, one of them was dead, and the other was. What? Wasn't it na 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 the last time?
No, that was just something different. That was just me trying to do something or try to sleep, and it was just a na 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 bit and na na na.
Now
But,
one of them was dead, and the other was dying. There was no doubt about it. Wilbur would not survive this. Neither fucking I would drop too high. His
What?
hands curled into fists.
Just imagine
so
it
tightly
really.
his nails broke the skin of his palm. Blood trickled down his hands, but it would not be enough. He wanted a massacre. He wanted violent vengeance. And there was nothing and no one on the other side of his anger. All their enemies were dead. There was nowhere to go but inward. Techno's knife was still lodged in Tommy's chest, in Tommy's heart. Your fault, the voices began. Blood flows everywhere. What the fuck?
Is there a
Blood
trigger warning
follows
on
you
this?
everywhere you go. Did you think you could outrun it? He thought he had, by gods, for once in his damn life. He thought he'd finally found somewhere safe. Somewhere where no... Someone's playing Doom on my friends list. Somewhere where no one knew his bloody past, or cared to. Somewhere with clear skies and a warm garden where he could pretend to be something he could never be. mortal. And now it all came crashing down around him. His farce, his naivety. This was the cost of those... Who gave this fucking author a thesaurus? How do I say this?
Thesaurus.
Theosaurus.
I don't have a
never
thesaurus
heard
here
the
either.
I've never heard thesaurus be more mispronounced in my life.
It's like a dinosaur.
Do you need an alternate word for that? Go grab a thesaurus.
Thesaurus.
Halcyon, there we go. I'm ignoring you all. This was the cost of those halcyon days. You know what? I'm gonna get my my school approved TM dictionary. Sorry,
the dictionary ain't gonna help you.
dictionary. Shut up! It's the Australian pocket. This is not a pocket dictionary. This thing would not
Dictionaries do
fit
have
any of my pocket.
Muffin, don't you mean dictionary?
Dictation.
Uh,
I'm again.
Get everything down.
Back to the devil's roll to do this instead of trying to get that chest.
I'm gonna have to deal with that one in the morning.
And pineapple apple.
He should have left the first chance he got. He never should have met them at all. Wooba, the name, scratched his throat. He could barely hear himself speak. If my drops, I'm gonna cry. He tried again, putting as much strength into his words as there was left in him. Wilbur, let him go. Out of the corner of his eye, he could see Wilbur raise his head from his silent seat in the corner. He had not said a word since his arrival, not even as they marched back to the tent with Timmy's dead body between them. For once, Techno was glad for his silence. If he heard Phil's voice right now, he might just put a trident through the man's chest. Techno struggled to his feet when it was clear Wilbur was not listening to him. His legs threatened to collapse under his own weight. He caught himself on the edge of the planning table, where carved wooden soldiers stood at attention for a war that was already over. It's all over. We need to fix him up, Wilbur, Techno said, his words coming out ragged. I lost my retainer. There it is. He staggered towards Wilbur, hand outstretched.
There we go.
Wilbur's head snapped up to the sudden motion, his eyes wide and furious. Get away from us, he growled, pressing Tommy closer to himself. The movement made Tommy's head loll to the side, allowing Techno to truly see his face in the candlelight for the first time. Techno's breath hitched in his throat. He looked so peaceful, as if he was simply sleeping, as if any moment now his eyes would flutter open and he'd grin up at the both of them, easily diffusing the tension as only Tommy could. Wake up, Techno begged, prayed, wished. Please wake up. But he never would again. You can't hold him forever, Techno spat. For God's sakes, Wilbur, there's still a dagger in his chest. Wilbur looked... Where the fuck am I? Wilbur looked down at the still bundle in his arms, noticing the state of his brother for the first time. Absently, mechanically, he reached out to wipe a streak of dirt from Tommy's cheek. His expression grew incensed, as the stubborn soil clung furiously to his brother's skin, and Techno feared he might wipe Tommy's flesh down to the bone. Are you trying to peel him? Techno demanded angrily. Wilbur looked at him with a look of unbridled wrath, but did not reply. With a scoff, Techno took a stray piece of cloth hanging off the table and marched to the tent flaps. He drew them open and leaned into the rain, catching the cold raindrops on the cloth until it was damp. Cold water slipped down his wrist. But it was a distant feeling, felt by another man in another time. When he turned back to them, Wilbur was still clinging to Tommy like a lifeline. Let him go, Techno ordered. Wilbur shook his head silently, his shoulders trembling. I can't. Wilbur. I said I can't. Techno stomped towards him until he was standing over Wilbur. Of course you can. It's easy. Just open your damn arms and put him on the bed. Wilbur glared. It would be easy for you, wouldn't it? Techno narrowed his eyes at him. What's that supposed to mean? Cold. Everything was cold. Cold in his lungs, cold in his heart. Cold in the very depths of his soul, if he still had one. Cold from the rain, cold from Tommy's skin, cold from Wilbur's damning eyes. Thunder cracked in the distance. It was going to be a long night. It's easy, he'd said. Just open your damn arms. Wilbur didn't... I scrolled too far. Wilbur didn't know if he wanted to laugh or wail at Techno's words. There was nothing easy about anything anymore. Every breath felt like inhaling broken glass. Every thought was a raging shriek. There was blood in his mouth from where he'd bitten the inside of his cheek just to keep himself from screaming, and by gods did he want to scream. He wanted to tear the whole world apart with his bare hands, burn it and salt it, leave nothing behind, not even one whisper of what once was. I mean, tell my technological blanket on 1 minute. It did not deserve even the the memory of Tommy. You heard me, Wilbur hissed. Leaning down. Where are we? Hissed at the man standing before him, both of them glowering, but not truly seeing each other. Everything comes easy to you, doesn't it, blood god? Techno's brows drew together in anger. My back's sweaty. You don't.
Just when everyone's actually done it now, you're the one that's fucking around.
Alright. Where are we? Techno's brows drew together in anger. You don't get to throw that back in my face. Not tonight, after everything I did for you. Oop. Where did my jacket go? Oh, there it is. Wilbur's arms trembled. He looked down at his brother's sleeping face. If I fall, I'm going to cry, and I'm taking you all with me.
Sit normally.
No, I'm sitting not normally. I don't want to. He looked down at his brother's sleeping face. Sleeping? Sleeping? He isn't sleeping. He's dead. Dead. With a rattling breath, Wilbur traced the curve of Tommy's cheek, stopping where it used to dimple. Why are you working so hard? It's a Google tab. When he smiled, and then Wilbur looked down at where a knife still jutted out of his chest, like a violent reminder. Fresh tears stung his eyes, and he tried desperately to blink them away before they could fall. And still, a rebel tear found its way down his face, carving his dirty cheek in half. Death. Such a small Such a small word for such a big thing. Wilbur hadn't even wanted Tommy on the battlefield in the first place. He'd planned to leave Tommy at the castle, where he'd be safe behind walls and his own personal army of guards. But Techno, God's damned Techno, had talked him out of it. Tommy is stronger than you'd like to admit, Techno had said, and smarter than anyone gives him credit for. If you leave him behind, you will not only lose an irreplaceable asset, you will also lose your brother's love. Don't stand there and tell me that Tommy will allow you to fight this war without him. What will you do when he inevitably protests? Lock him in his bedroom? Shackle him to the wall? You tried to protect him once before, and look where that got you. And so Wilbur had taken his brother to the front lines, ordered the tailors to make him a uniform that Wilbur would have killed to never see him wear. And then he sent his brother, his baby brother, his Tommy, off to the slaughter. And now he was dead. Dead in the red and blue colours of the family that failed him one last time. No, the voices hissed. Not your family. Wilbur met Techno's eyes once more. This is your fault. And Techno was right in the end. It was damnably easy for Wilbur to stand and open his arms and place Tommy down on the cot before his body had moved on its own, but this time, every action was deliberate. Deliberately, he shrugged off his torn and bloody coat and put it over Tommy to keep him warm. If warmth was something dead body still felt. Deliberately, he tucked a loose strand of Tommy's hair behind his ear. Deliberately, Wilbur let his brother go. Deliberately, he turned and faced Technoblade. Anger, it seemed, was a stronger emotion than sorrow. Technoblade's eyes were gleaming in the flickering candlelight. He still held a wet cloth in his hands, but he clutched it so fiercely Wilbur would not be surprised if it was merely shreds by now. Be very careful, Techno drawled, of what you're about to say to me, Wilbur. You told me to bring him here. Wilbur flung the accusation like an arrow from a bow, watching it strike its mark. And you were their target. We're all just collateral fucking damage for all the shit you've done. The past caught up to you, Technoblade. Why the hell did you have to bring us all down with you? Thunder crashed around them like vicious war drums, following a flash of lightning that bathed everything in a ghastly glow. Technoblade and Wilbur stared at each other. Across the flower-strewn gap that grew between them with every word. They were two ghosts in limbo, twin stars drawn to each other's collapsing gravities. They were going to destroy each other tonight, and Wilbur was going to enjoy every damn minute of it. Fucking drink. I hate you.
I know you do.
You want to hear a lisp? I can put my retainer in and we can like struggle to read this with a lisp. I told you, Technoblade growled. I told you I would take care of them, didn't I? I could have stopped this at the border, but you wanted to play the peaceful dignitary, even when the bloody facts were staring you right in the face. Wilbur remembered that day clearly, the day the first of the spies' reports had come in, confirming what the voices had been whispering tauntingly for weeks. Wilbur, as always, had called for Technoblade's advice. Technoblade read the missives once, looked up, and simply said, "Kill them all." Wilbur had flinched. Techno, that's not... I could. You know I could. Technoblade had leaned over his desk, meeting Wilbur's incredulous stare with hazy eyes. Just say the word. Wilbur had not. They'd argued like they'd never argued before, like they were arguing now. And Technoblade had left, slamming the doors of Wilbur's office with such force it rattled the books off his shelves. And then not even a day later, the Green Army had massacred the entire city of the borders. And Technoblade had been right then, was Technoblade right now. Wilbur found it didn't matter. He didn't care. All he wanted was to rip and tear, and his fury would not discriminate. Technoblade, Wilbur shook his head ruefully. Always choosing violence at every turn. Technoblade inhaled slowly. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, don't I? Wilbur watched Technoblade's features twist in surprise and grim anticipation, quickly hidden by a veneer of indifference. Did he know what was coming? Did he fear it as much as Wilbur was eager to twist the knife? Tommy didn't know about where you... Tommy didn't know about where you go off to on your little nighttime escapades, but I do, Wilbur finally said, finding a grim sort of delight in the way Techno froze on the spot. Did you think I wouldn't notice? Did you think I wouldn't ask questions or follow you? You're an idiot, Wilbur. Techno said, his words nothing less than venomous. What have you done, Peter, and why are you giggling about it?
I was just staring at the map and then I came up and I was like right beside an island and I didn't even know.
Fair enough.
Is the
Completely
intent
missed
of
an
this to
island.
read sad fanfiction?
when did I
Can I
get
say
on
words
mute?
correctly?
Well, it was because Ace wouldn't read it on their own, so it was like, can you read it to me? And I'm like, I've got nothing better to do, it's holidays, and then it's not holidays anymore, I still don't have anything better to do.
Okay.
Are you racing?
Shut up! The amount of times I've had to mute my mic because I've said fuck like really loud. Like Matt's been watching it this whole time.
I sure have.
When did I get
I had a lot of lag problems.
Very interesting experience.
My graphics card's gone back down to 51 degrees, thank God.
Only 51. Wow.
I think I'm being hunted by the guys that have the Reaper chest.
You got a Reapers back up again?
Yeah.
Then probably.
Oh wait, no, it looks like they're going away.
Is there a possibility of reading a bad or funny fanfiction?
I will go on Quoto after this, don't worry.
Just finished the chapter.
Wilbur only smiled in the face of his fury. Did you at least have fun murdering your way through the woodlands, Techno? He'd been 17 when he found out. In truth, he didn't even know how he'd arrived at that forest, exactly like the first time he'd ever seen Techno leave, all those years ago, when the raging voices had followed him into the darkness and he'd woken up somewhere with no recollection of how he'd gotten there. But of all his confusion had quickly been replaced with... all of his confusion had been quickly replaced with fear as he spotted Techno moving between the trees, stalking after something crawling across the forest floor. Well, not something. Someone. Wilbur had pressed himself against the trunk of a tree, his hands clamped over his mouth, barely able to breathe as Techno's prey begged for his life. And then he'd heard the distinct sound of a sword being freed from its scabbard. One scream and then a wet thud. That was all, before Wilbur passed out once more. When he awoke, he was in his own bed at the castle, his heart thudding in his chest but completely unharmed. He'd taken a deep breath, glad to brush it all off as a nightmare, before he'd noticed the single green leaf clutched in his hand. He'd never spoken of it until now. Go on then, Wilbur said as Technoblade simply stared at him, breathing heavily. Tell me you've changed. Tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. Tell me you aren't the same bloodthirsty monster from the stories. I expected you, of all people, to understand. Technoblade's voice sounded strained, like a taut rope one pull away from unraveling. You know, unraveled a rope, it's so annoying to, like, deal with it afterwards. You know the voices, they don't let go, they demand their fill, Wilbur. Sometimes it's unstoppable, and I've been trying so goddamned hard. There it was, the crack, a hairline fracture slowly fissuring into something more. If you were really following me, you'd know I haven't killed anyone for years before today. Before I stopped, I fought the voices off, even if it took everything from me. You think you got me pegged, Wilbur? All you need to define...
Sorry, I took it that way too.
I did too, but at least I stopped myself. You think you...
You
Well,
didn't see
I'm
the
not
face
reading
I
that one yet.
made. You didn't see the face I made.
All you needed to define me by was you and Tommy. But go ahead and find other definitions if that will make you happy. Let's see if I still have anything left in me to care. That made Wilbur pause, if only for a second. And then where have you been going? Looking for your father, Technoblade spat. And the words fell between them like a dead weight. Wilbur turned towards the man in question. But his father had not moved in ages, stuck sitting with his head in his hands, oblivious to the thunderstorm around them. Not one word, not one move. Of course, he thought bitterly, taking in his father's slumped shoulders and the obsidian wings tucked close behind him. Why would I expect anything different? Wilbur wanted to feel angry. Wanted his vision to go red every time he caught a glimpse of his father's golden hair in his periphery.
I'm sorry.
But he only had but he only had his pig. Wilbur had not seen his father in years, and was looking at him now. He didn't see the cold, distant king of the past. He only saw the pathetic excuse of a man, someone who'd abandoned his sons, who only returned after all the hard decisions had been made, after Wilbur had been forced to make them. He didn't spare a single thought, more on the laughable side of his father, sitting leagues away from his Tommy's body, not even bothering to meet the eyes of the only son he had left. That's right, Techno said roughly, catching Wilbur's attention once more. The blood god stood with his fists clenched at his sides, trembling with fury. Wilbur had never seen his eyes so hateful, not even when he was carving his way through the battlefield. Wilbur reveled in it. I went out every night for years, ignoring the voices, ignoring everything, to look for your father. To give him back to you because I saw you, every meal you missed, every hour you spent studying politics instead of sleeping. Every time you felt you were choking, I saw it. I was there for it, and it killed me. So I went off to look for someone to help you. I tried telling you I've changed. I only bite when my family's in danger. But you still see me as some sort of rabid dog. And all those people I did kill in the forests, they were criminals, Wilbur. As if that changed anything. Tell that to the army you just blew to smithereens. You set those explosives, and you gave the order. So where does that leave us? For a moment, they simply stood there, staring at each other and catching their breaths. Oh. Welcome to fanfic, man. The storm still raged outside, but some bit of it was living inside Wilbur's chest. This was the endgame. Wilbur knew they were standing on the precipice of... If one of them jumped now, they were lost to each other forever, and so Wilbur leapt. Maybe it was better Tommy died before he found out what you are, he said slowly, deliberately. You must be happy, at least now. He'll never get the chance to know just what sort of monster you truly are. Technoblade moved in a flash. Wilbur had anticipated it, but still couldn't help a gasp of surprise as Techno barreled into him, sending both of them sprawling onto the ground. Wilbur's head cracked against the packed earth. The sting was a welcomed one. Technoblade kneeled over him, his fist curled around the collar of Wilbur's shirt. Wilbur could feel Technoblade's anger radiating from him like heat from a raging forest fire, but when he looked into his old tutor's eyes, he could only see his own wretched smile reflected back at him. Technoblade pulled...
White teeth.
What?
What? If you can see his reflection in Techno's teeth, that must be some
eyes.
white teeth. Oh, eyes.
I thought you said teeth too.
Tutor's eye... Oh, did I say teeth?
I think you said teeth.
You You said
Oh.
teeth.
You probably
I meant to
said
say he's all
teeth.
cute as eyes.
Damn, I'm looking into your
willing to
teeth.
accept that it was teeth.
I was completely zoned out. I was
Shiny
just
teeth.
vibing.
Like it makes sense. It makes sense because it like would make sense that Techno was like growling or something.
If you
Let's
could
just
see
imagining
yourself-
his teeth for eyes.
Teeth.
That's terrifying.
Please never speak again.
I don't
Alright.
even know what this man looks like.
A pig.
Actually, he's relatively human in this, if I remember correctly.
I'll go find some Serene fan art. You keep reading.
Okay, that's not necessary.
Technoblade
Well,
pulled one fist back, his entire body trembling. Go ahead, Wilbur said. Prove me right. There was a split second where...
Less Serene. Oh? I thought I'd lagged out.
Go ahead, Wilbur said. Prove me right. There was a split second where Wilbur thought Technoblade would simply leave, like Wilbur had always known he would, eventually. And then his fist collided with Wilbur's face. Nah, no laughing. And then his... Fuck, now I'm laughing.
I'm gonna chuck it in general.
And then his eye... And then his eyes? Then his fist collided with Wilbur's face.
Sure, it
It was
wasn't
a
his
his
teeth.
eyes.
stinging crunch and a lancing pain, and Wilbur knew from the amount of warm blood that dripped down the side of his face that Technoblade had broken his nose. Wilbur leaned back, looking up at Technoblade with wide eyes. Technoblade stared back at him with equal shock. The anger briefly ebbed from his face to reveal a genuine worry. Technoblade began, but Wilbur cut him off with a derisive snort. Is that all you got, Blood God? He said, and promptly kicked Technoblade off him. Technoblade went flying and crashed against the cot right behind him. Wilbur's breath caught as he watched the cot tremble and then collapse. No, Technoblade reached his arms out, but he wasn't fast enough. Tommy's limp body fell onto the floor with a hollow thud. For a moment, all was quiet, and there was only the distant rumble of thunder, so far away now, as Technoblade and Wilbur simply stared at Tommy's body before them, like abandoned refuse. A toy, once loved, now broken, discarded by a careless toddler's fickle hands. Toddles? What? He hated himself for it.
That toddlers are called toddlers because they toddle around.
Toddlers.
I didn't know that.
But his first instinct was to search the room for his father. He met his father's eyes as the old king slowly rose from his seat, his mouth a thin line of
Must read
disapproval.
general.
What have you done in general? Always
Oh.
disapproval, the voices hissed. Even now. Especially now. Yeah, you're not wrong.
I never
At
am.
all. Never. That is anime techno to a T. I don't really know why. Don't never question me why, but like that is anime boy techno to a T.
Yep.
Wilbur wrenched his gaze away from his father's, only to be met with Technoblade's, his pale face a study in grief. What the hell did we just do? Technoblade whispered, almost too quiet to be heard over the pounding rain. Wilbur was already rushing to his feet. Before Wilbur could say another word, Wilbur ran. Don't. The warning was soft, but brooked no argument. Techno stopped at the edge of the tent where he'd been readying to chase after Wilbur, turning towards the sound of Phil's voice. Philza had gathered Tommy's body into his arms, but he was looking right at Techno. He needs his space, Phil continued. There's like a freaking thing. His blue eyes almost grey in the dim light. How would you know? Techno wanted to say. These guys. His gaze fell and caught on Tommy. What was left of his anger evaporated into mist as he took in the state of his pupil. The blood and mud still on his skin and clothes, the dagger still protruding from his small, unbreathing chest. Phil held the body with infinite gentleness. Tommy's head nestled against the crook of his arm. Tommy's cheek pressed against his chest. Exactly like one would hold a newborn babe. Techno wondered when the last time Phil had held Tommy like that, if Tommy even allowed him
Still on course.
over the age of 3, and realized it really did not matter. It did not really matter.
Still slightly on
A
course.
father's arms never forgot the shape of a child. Not that Techno knew anything about being a father, or being a son.
impressive.
Techno nodded begrudgingly at Phil's arm, and we need to clean Tommy. Boz looked down at the body in his arms, his expression cloudy. I suppose we should. They moved.
Keep going against the
What
wind.
is this chapter? Jesus Christ.
Mate, I haven't raised my flag.
They moved
10,000
quietly.
words.
It's 7 point something K. So 7.2K. They moved quietly, carefully, with Techno grabbed the cloth he dropped during his tussle with Wilbur and went to wet it in the rain again, lingering in the cold to let the raindrops wash away the blood on his knuckles. Wilbur's blood. His stomach tightened as the blood-stained water dripped from his hands, but in a few moments his hands were clean once more. When he turned back to Tommy and Phil, he'd found that Phil had taken the knife from Tommy's chest. Is this yours? Phil asked bitterly, running his hands over the knife's carved handle. Is there a moth in my room?
It is itchy.
You should know, Techno said. You gave it to me. Phil looked up in surprise. Techno could only shrug, unsure of where they stood with each other now. It was a long time ago, Techno said. You gave me a whole set. During the... Yes, Techno cut him off. During that time. For the first time, Phil seemed to look his age, ancient and weathered by his endless...
Okay, my headset died, so I haven't heard anything.
From
Something
when?
dramatic happened.
I don't know, a couple, like, 5 minutes? Not 5 minutes. About, like, past 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
So, like, what did you hear last?
I don't remember, I panicked.
I also
Well, that
haven't
was-
been listening because I walked off.
Been listening.
At least
I
someone
was listening.
cares.
I was listening, but my headset died.
I would have been listening if I was here.
Muffin, I cared enough to make sure my headset didn't die.
Yours is probably wired,
Mine
don't
are
even.
wired, so I don't need to worry about that.
Noah is the star pupil here. So
Always have
muted him.
been, always will be.
I've just zoned out.
I'm gonna read from like the last bit. Did you remember Wilbur getting punched in the face?
Yeah. It didn't die that long ago. Look, it said in chat when it died.
Die around the bit where Philza is like holding Tommy and then like, oh my goodness. Then Techno's like, I don't have a dad.
I didn't hear that bit.
Yeah, okay. So we know where they lost it.
I'm just gonna read from basically where Philza goes, don't fucking follow him, leave him be, let him have his time in the rain.
His brother just died, he needs to cry for a bit.
He's have his sucky time in the rain.
So much shit in the water.
Muffin, you should have some like,
Don't hit me up right now.
it's like, oh Muffin, you should probably have some sort of like, you know, be nice to the fictional characters. No, they can suffer. If I'm gonna explain anything sad like this is how I'm gonna do it, alright? Oh shit, that was a corner server.
Yeah, let's do it real quick.
Alright, well, we're gonna take a small break. I wanna figure out how much fucking water I have. Ah.
My headset just randomly went doo 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 doo, and I was like, uh-oh. I have to plug my freaking like racing wheel now in because my headset charger is fucking missing. So I have to use my controller.
Now we have a tiny bit of loot. And up we go again.
Yay, the stream is back.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, now I'm racing with the wheel, so this is gonna be a lot harder.
Ooh, I want that sticker for my car. Ooh.
What is it?
It says look alive sunshine on it.
Oh my god. There was this thing where they were trying to make car like bumper stickers illegal because they're too distracting. Because people kept making the stupid ones like we were looking at for your 18th.
In my defense, anything works on my car because it's a black car. Like anything that you put on there that isn't black will like you will see it. I need to get some nail polish or some Sharpie and like get rid of the scratches on my car.
Fuck. That won't work.
Just color it in.
I can tell
yeah,
you that will
genuinely
not
what
work.
we do. I have a black car for a reason, man.
It's not black.
It is.
Are you
Complete- complete
colorblind?
You gonna tell me what my car is, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you did last time. You're like, oh, it's not a four-wheel drive. No, it is. That is a four-wheel drive.
Uh-huh.
Oh, the Reaper stuff glows.
And suddenly I'm shit on my wheel. As I
Peter,
say,
my
it's just
beloved,
kinda-
Jesus Christ. My streamer is stupid. Oh wait, I don't really care. I took a photo of something to send to someone and I wasn't gonna have my main monitor which has Passerine on it, FYI. I wasn't gonna have that, so I sent them the preview of the Discord call.
Fair enough.
I almost sent that to Peter, I was like, wait a minute, Peter knows what I'm doing. Sometimes people in horror movies are actually excellent role models. Thank you, dear AO3. Loved it. Just occurred to me that I have an AO3 account and I'm using it right now. That's weird to think about.
Whoa.
I'm better than you, I don't have an account.
It took like a day for me to get my invite link and it took Ace like a week.
It took me 2 attempts.
I know, it's actually fun. It took me 1 attempt, fun little fact.
It was weird.
I also joined back in 2017, so like, you know, and there wasn't as much
Get it,
of a,
you're
like...
depressed.
Should I make an account on stream?
Give me a press run, I can call you out.
Fuck you.
Alright, 8 AM, I'm bringing the meat.
My meat is ready.
I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I'm
8
just
a.m.
imagining you bringing a 50-pound slab of like Wagyu beef.
Actually, it was
To their house.
Megalodon meat at the time. It was like a full crate of Megalodon meat, and I just shouted, "My meat is ready!"
Well-
Fucking hell.
So I'm waiting for Noah to come back.
I just
Little,
did the
like-
gay wrist flick by accident.
What's the other?
I can do the gay wrist flick, I don't, because it hurts my wrists, but like...
Imagine.
I have...
Oh god.
Scarecrosis.
Emotional
No, you
line.
have nothing wrong with you, remember? Your doctor said there's something wrong, remember?
I have nothing wrong with
completely
my
fine.
wrists, but good lord if I could carry anything, which I can't.
Ace.
What?
Merchant Alliance hereby agree to deliver these goods. 1 barrel of gunpowder.
Heck,
Hmm.
I did not mute myself, but I thought I did.
I hear gunshots, or it might be the volcano. Yeah, it's a volcano.
I got my comfort blanket that, like, I like to drape it around myself like a cape, and Jojo likes to attack the ends of it.
I lost my blanket. I don't know where it went.
How the fuck do you lose a
If I
blanket?
lost this blanket, I would literally cry because it's like my comfort blanket.
I think it's an accomplishment that I lost a blanket.
Yeah.
Okay,
How do
does
you
it
lose a
do
blanket,
that?
actually? That's a good
I
question.
think it's funnier part is it's an electric blanket, so it's got a cord as well.
Huh?
You
Oh,
literally have a line connecting you to the blanket.
You have a LAN cable connecting to your fucking warmth connector.
That's
Can we
like
just
how
take a moment
light
to appreciate the fact that, like, he has an electric blanket, right? But he doesn't have walls.
Yeah, he doesn't have walls.
Look, that's why I have the electric blanket.
how do you like? Do you live in the
Peter's
forest?
homeless.
Yeah,
Are you even legally allowed to live where you live at the moment?
probably.
Peter, your whole house is an OH&S violation.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. Our
Probably.
house is across the street. Like, if you go through the backyard, you'll eventually hit the police station.
And they haven't gotten you in trouble yet, so.
They
Do
go
you think
drinking
we're gonna
at the
die
pub with
when we
everyone
visit
else,
him,
so I don't think
Muffin?
they're gonna care about my house.
I'm
Do you think we?
confused and concerned.
Do you think we're gonna die when we visit him, Muffin?
Possibly.
It's impossible.
Don't get your
We'll
hopes
just
up.
touch the fucking bare wire in the wall.
Look, I've tried touching it. Honestly, it doesn't do anything.
Well, yeah, that's because house wiring has to be safe.
Alright. As much as I rag on
Unless
about
you're
the
a
fact
baby.
that I think there's a hole in my roof because I can see sunlight through the like I've got the hole to like the roof cavity in my room now because it used to be in the pantry. And as much as I rag on about like me thinking there's a hole in there sometimes to myself, and only to myself, because I can see sunlight in there on a morning. At least I'm not an OH&S issue.
I am the OH&S issue.
OH&S.
Yes.
Oh, H&S, yes.
Where is the island? Oh, there it is.
Why is there a good one? Anyway, Muffin.
Right.
Wait, is it around here?
Yes.
No? Okay.
Yes.
God, I look annoying.
man.
Yeah,
Like,
in
look-
that game, do not.
I look gayer in the first one. Don't even. I was doing the peace fingers and
That's
everything.
how my brother looks in real life.
What, the one on the left or the one on the right?
Like the one that you are.
Oh my god.
That's how my brother stands in real life and then is like, I'm cool, I'm a good person. It's like,
Jesus.
no.
It's like, I'm just gonna do some Snapchats to people real quick.
Why did I?
Oh god, you snap whore.
I am.
Can't open the
I'm
map.
getting
Shut
that
it.
flat score. Anyway,
Shout out to you the other day, just going, damn, I send you hoish snaps, don't I?
can we please read some sad fan fiction, not talk about how much of a whore I am on main? Thank you.
No.
And
Discover magmatide.
don't. The warning was soft, but brooked no argument. Techno stopped at
Oh,
the
I
edge
thought you
of
were
the
warning
tent,
me.
Maybe she is.
Hey.
Sorry.
Oh, they just died instantly. Oh my god.
where he'd been ready to chase after Wilbur.
Bless you.
Turning towards the sound of Wilbur's voice. Stop sneezing!
Bless you. Bless you.
What the fuck? What the
Bless you.
Stop sneezing,
Ace
proceeds
is
to
allergic
sneeze.
to sneeze.
Stop
Time to
sneezing,
die.
proceeds to sneeze 7 times. And then like has 2 what the fucks in the middle.
I love the what the fuck.
It was like, boom, boom, what the fuck?
Ow, I fucking punched the table.
You punched the table.
Oh fuck, my wheel lagged. Oh, that ended well.
Your wheel lag?
That was a great yeah, the game lagged and it froze my wheel. This is a great qualifying run.
What the fuck is this chest?
Perfect. Okay. Anyway, continue. I'll try not sneezing.
Where the fuck were we?
Fuck's sake.
Something about a warning.
The warning was soft, but brooked no argument. Techno stopped at the edge of the tent, where oh god, like touched my head. Where he'd
Your
been
head?
readying to chase after Wilbur, turning towards the sound of Phil's voice. Philza had gathered Tommy's body into his arms, but he was looking right at Techno. He needs space, Phil continued. His blue eyes, almost grey in the dim light. They spelt grey wrong. It's American spelling. How would you know? Techno wanted to say. But his gaze fell and caught on Tommy. What was left of his anger evaporated into mist, as he took in the state of his pupil. The blood and mud still in his skin and clothes, the dagger still protruding from his small, unbreathed chest. Phil... I look over to the stream of this skeleton. Phil held the boy with an infinite gentleness. Tommy's head nestled against the crook of his arm. Tommy's cheek pressed against his chest, exactly like how one would hold a newborn babe. Techno wondered when the last time Phil had held Tommy like that.
I've heard this
Tommy,
bad.
Do you see
if
what
Tommy
I'm saying fuck
even
about now?
allowed him to over the age of 3, and realized it did not really matter. A father's arms never forgot the shape of a child. Not that Techno knew anything about being a father, or being a son. Techno had nodded begrudgingly at Philza. And we need to clean Tommy. Phil looked down at the body in his arms, his expression cloudy. I suppose we should. They moved quietly, carefully. Techno grabbed the cloth he'd dropped during his tussle with Wilbur and went to wet it in the rain again, lingering in the cold to let the raindrops wash away the blood on his knuckles. Wilbur's blood. His stomach tightened as the blood-stained water dripped from his hands.
bless you.
Can you stop sneezing? Oh my god.
I'm sick.
But in a
fuck
few
off.
moments, his hands were clean once more. When he turned back to Tommy and Phil, he'd found that Phil had taken the knife out of Tommy's chest. "This yours?" Phil asked bitterly, running his hand over the knife's
Is this your
carved
card?
handle. I have one of those cards on my desk right now that I got from one of those magic tricks. Do not even. You should know,
have
Techno
none.
said. You gave it to me. How's the fucking guy who did the magic tricks name on it too? It's really weird. Phil looked up in surprise. Techno could only shrug, unsure of where they stood now with each other. "It was a long time ago," Techno said. "You gave me a whole set." "During the..." "Yes," Techno cut him off. "During that time." For the first time, Phil seemed to look his age, ancient and weathered by his endless years. Techno could see him remembering it all. Their empire of blood and glory, broken only by silent months of warm companionship. It seemed their bodies recalled just as much as their minds did, because they easily slipped back into their grim work. Side by side, never needing to speak a single word, as Phil combed the dirt out of Tommy's hair. Techno scrubbed at the stains on his arms and the stubborn one on his cheek. And when Techno's breathing began to slow at the end of the side of the jagged wound on Tommy's chest, Phil silently worked Tommy out of his torn shirt into a fresh one that did not bear the scars of their battle. Then they stepped back, surveying their work. Tommy was polished. Tommy was spotless. Tommy was dead. Why was that funny? Of all things,
They've
that
talked
could
about
have,
it so much.
like, he's dead. He's fucking dead. Look at the body. Look at this
the
man.
point that, you know, he's dead, no longer alive.
It's a very important fact. Remember the fact that he, like, you know,
Aliven't.
Yeah.
alive,
Unalive.
Unalive.
alive not. Lack of life.
Breathant.
Breathing.
Somebody committed
Oh,
unalive to
eaten.
this poor boy.
Uno reverse card alive.
Free trial
no.
to life lost.
Subscription unwillingly ended.
Credit card cancelled.
Credit card declined. You fucking bitch.
Of all the things that could have broken him, Techno didn't understand why it had to be the sight of Tommy actually looking clean. He'd held it together when they were walking back to camp. He'd held it together when Wilbur pinned him with the accusations that simply echoed what the voices had been saying for years. Monster, monster, monster. He'd killed 1,000 men, seen allies eviscerated and witnessed the fall of kingdoms. He'd seen Phil's and kneel. He'd seen the world end 100 times over and watched the people rebuild over and over while he stood back, helpless, wanting to scream at them for being foolish, but also yearning with all his might to be able to love something enough to do what love grew from it. To be able to love something enough to also love what grew from its ruins. And looking at Tommy's peaceful face is what finally made Technoblade Emperor of Ice, Blood God, Destroyer of Worlds, cry. He stood over Tommy's body and let the tears fall. He felt himself come undone with grief and guilt, misery and madness. And all at once, he understood. He understood the anguish in the war god's eyes. He understood the pain of the widows and orphans he'd left in his wake. He understood the agony of an entire world brought to its knees before a merciless god. He felt it all. A hand closed around his trembling shoulder. Techno. Phil's voice was a distant thing. We need to talk. Talk! Techno whirled around, shrugging Phil's hand off his shoulder. The other god simply backed away, giving Techno his space. Techno hated that almost as much as the blank look on Phil's face. What is there to talk about? Phil's swallowed, leaning against the table as if he could not bear his own weight any longer. About why I left. Your son is dead. The words tasted like ash on his tongue. His corpse is right in front of you, and you want to talk about yourself? Phil's flinched. That was the extent of his reaction. This is important. You have to understand. What is there left for me to understand? It's not over. Phil's eyes bore through him. The war isn't over. Techno exhaled heavily. Don't screw with me right now. I'm done. I'm finished. Would it help, Techno said slowly, if I told you the leader of the Green Army, its general, its ruler, whatever, is still out there? Techno blinked, hot tears sticking his eyes. What? Phil's lips drew a thin line, a habit Techno recognized from their Empire days, as something Phil did when he was trying not to scream. I left for 1,000 different reasons, Techno. When she died, I just knew. Though the pain of losing her was more than I could bear. I knew something worse would come, and it did come, sooner than I expected, but it came. He glanced at Tommy, his expression indecipherable. Her death destroyed me. I knew the day I lost my son to be the day I destroyed the world. His eyes slid to Techno. You understand. Like that, I think. I do. Technoblade did not want to agree with him on anything, but but there was no other explanation for the voices growing slowly louder and louder inside his head. He was beginning to lose himself. He already had, if he'd hurt Wilbur like that. It had only been a few hours, and there was no telling what he could do, what he would become later. He stared at Filza, once realizing that the Angel of Death might be called that for a reason. We gods are different, and grief is infinite. So is our power. Filza looked down at his hands. No being should have both. Grief in a mortal already does so much fucking damage. In us, it will be 1,000 times worse. So I did the only thing I felt could save me. Save everyone from my grief. Blue eyes found red. Have you heard of the Green God, Technoblade? Fuck, I wonder who that could be. Oh my god. Techno found himself nodding. The Green God,
I don't
and
know who that is.
fuck's sake, if I hear this fucking phrase one more time. An infamous force, but a mystery to all. Technoblade found the name carved into trees older than civilization, and written into mortals' holy texts. There was a smile. The Green God could bring him back. The rest of the world fell away, and in its place, hope. That's why a single tear, the last of its kind, the last Techno could give, fell down Techno's cheek, warm and light. That's why you aren't breaking down right now. Oh, Filza gave him a sad smile. Fuck, I'm breathing my mic. Believe me, old friend, I'm completely losing it. I just had more practice at hiding it than you. Knowing I can revive my son doesn't do shit for the pain of seeing him die in the first place. And your wife? That sobered Filza quickly. I don't know. The texts I read, and there were millions, had conflicting stories about the Green God's rules. What he can and can't do. They all agree he's powerful, even more powerful than you and me combined, I reckon. But he can bring back Tommy, and right now, it's the bet. It's the only thing that matters. Stop fucking scrolling the wrong way. Techno was quiet for a moment, simply processing the weight of Filza's revelation. And then he said, couldn't you have said that all before I broke Wilbur's face? Filza grimaced. I'm sorry, I was, well, losing it, as I said. You know me. Techno nodded. I do know you. Always in the aftermath, aren't you? Techno, you should have stayed to explain, Techno said quietly. Or you could have taken me with you. They both knew he wasn't talking about just Tommy anymore. Filza shook his head sadly. What gave me the strength to leave the night my wife died, Techno, was the knowledge that you were staying behind. I'd seen what you were becoming to the boys, but the boys were becoming to you. I knew I could leave because they had you. But who did I have, Phil? Techno demanded. Phil's eyes widened. Techno, that's me and you, Techno went on, not hearing anything beyond the pounding of his own heart. That's what you said. So where were you when I was crashing through an entire library's worth of books on history and politics and God-stamped etiquette just to fit in a life I never asked for? Where were you when Tommy was waking up from nightmares almost every night? Or when Wilbur was pulling his hair out over being king at 16? Where were you when the voices got so loud for the both of us that we had to take turns reminding each other to breathe? There was a sharp crack startling of both Techno and Filza. They looked down at the table Filza had been leaning on, only to find a chunk of it had broken clean off in Filza's hand. Oh, Filza said uncomprehendingly, at the cracked pieces in his hand. He looked helplessly at Techno. What do I do now? Technoblade crossed his arms. Apologize, for one thing. For the table, or for leaving? Technoblade's impressed look. Well, Filza winced. I'm sorry, that was my awful attempt at humor, I suppose. He took a deep breath, dropping the broken pieces from his hand. I know I have a lot to be sorry for, he began. Techno sighed. There's going to be a but now, isn't there? But, also continued, meeting... Oh my god, there's a but. Continued, meeting...
How big is it?
What?
Dumpy.
The butt.
Don't broke and
I was gonna say that. Why is everyone overtaking me?
Thicker than a bowl of oatmeal.
Fuck you guys when I stand up with my
know.
camera on, Jesus Christ. Leave my ass out of it half the time.
No.
I've literally come back to it. I've heard you talking about it when I come back and I'm like, really? Can I not go get some fucking water?
Nope.
Funny when you're trying to get my phone after it fell with Ethan and me.
Yeah, I should have left it. Filza continued, meeting
did?
Proof stare head on. I did, yeah. Something close to sadness flickering over his face. We have the rest of our lives for my atonement. Should we read My Immortal? Oh my god, that would be so good to read next.
Just finish
I
this
will,
one.
I will apologize to you every minute of every day once this is all over. I will never stop trying to make it up to you, but we will have to wait once we're safe, once we're all home. He glanced pointedly at Tommy, then back at Techno. Like I said, this war isn't over. The Green God is still out there. This was simply his invitation. An invitation! Techno thought about the thousands of corpses, enemy and ally, buried beneath the rubble of the exploded mountains. His trident and whip still slick with blood. What had the war god said? I'm merely a pawn in this game. Is this all a joke to him? Filza nodded tightly. He's more god than the both of us. You calling me immortal, Filza? That depends, Filza smiled gently. Do you still think it's an insult? Techno did not reply. Instead he turned towards the front seat, to the rain still raging outside. Someone needs to find Wilbur. Even long as he's built. Filza found him at the very edge of the hill, kneeling over a cluster of blue flowers. Oh. The rain pouring. Anyway, the rain pouring over his soldiers. Soldiers? Shop. Alright then. Now why is that one? That one's a bit. Alright then, English is.
Muffin.exe has stopped responding.
It has. The rain pouring over his shoulders. He seemed numb to the cold, to everything entirely. When Filza spread his wings over him, keeping the downpour away, his dark eyes flickered to his father. Just for a second. Just for a heartbeat. But it was acknowledgement, which was more than Phil could ever hope to deserve. Techno's words echoed in his mind, each syllable leaving bleeding wounds that Phil would never show. Techno had suffered so much. Too much. Phil would rather die than add to that. Whatever apology you come up with now would be meaningless. A small pathetic scratch against the iceberg of his own making. Actions, after all, spoke louder than words. And Filza was nothing if not a man of action. King at 16, Techno had said, as if it was the worst thing to be. Now looking down at his son, Filza knew it to be true.
Son! Where's my son? It came back into my hand.
That was meant to be a forest stream, and it turned into Sea of Thieves so quickly.
Where the fuck did all the loot go?
Wilbur was holding his own head in his lap. In the dark, Phil could just barely make out a jagged, barely healed scar on his palm. He wanted to ask a million things at once. Are you okay? Who did that? What happened? Will you ever forgive me? Forgive me? Forgive me? Forgive me? But he held his silence, even if it was the second most painful thing he had ever done. He waited and waited. He would wait until the world ended, if that was what it took. And then eventually Wilbur spoke. It was really never meant. Well, it was real. What? It was.
What?
English. Stop it. It really was meant to be. I'm sorry. Phil asked gently. Yeah. Wilbur sighed heavily. You should be. Well, why didn't you visit? Wilbur asked suddenly. Overhead, lightning arced towards the midnight sky. And Phil finally allowed himself to look. Really look at his son. His jaw was sharper, his shoulders bolder, but underneath the blood and grime and the haunted eyes, it was still his boy, his Wilbur, terrified of the dark. Or even write a letter, anything. Wilbur... It's not Wilbur, this is Phil. Phil's heart shattered, because if I allowed myself that foot in the door, I knew I wouldn't have the courage to leave again. And did you ever think of us? Of course, every second of every day. I never thought of you, Wilbur said. Or at least, I tried not to. It was hard. I saw you everywhere. In the paintings, in the garden, down every hallway, in Tommy's eyes, in Techno's words. He closed his scarred hand so tightly that the wound opened once more, spilling blood onto the grass.
What was that? Oh!
But what's strange
Thanks for
is
the
that I never
follow.
saw you in me. Thunder echoed over the valley. Filza barely heard it. I think that's a good thing, Wilbur. No, Wilbur gave a rueful shake of his head. No, it's not. I'm tired of pretending it is. I'm tired of everything. I wish I could be just like you and leave it all behind without looking back. That was enough. Philza went and kneeled before Wilbur, his hands finding Wilbur's shoulders. Wilbur's expression crumpled. Philza knew it. Oh shit, it's midnight. It wasn't just the rain dripping down his cheeks. Leaving you and Tommy, Philza said, almost killed me, Wilbur. But I knew I had to spare you from exactly this. He shook him slightly, desperately, just wanting to get any sort of emotion behind those cold brown eyes. We can bring him back, Wilbur. This isn't the end. He told Wilbur of his plans, of the years he'd spent hunting down every lead and every whisper of the Green God who could rewrite history, rewind death itself. I know, Philza said. I know this doesn't absolve me of the things I've done. Leaving you when your mother had just... I thought I was protecting you from my world, when I should have... But I should have understood earlier. You are my world. You and Techno and Tommy. After this, or after the Green God gives us your brother back, we can go home together. And you can be Prince Wilbur again if you want. Or we can go somewhere else. Find a place nobody knows our names, and just be. For a while, Wilbur was silent again. Speak, Philza begged. Please talk to me. At last, Wilbur said, you know, children don't really care about why their parents leave. They only care about that they did. They only care that they did. It's a blessing, I suppose. That I never truly was a child, even when I was young. He nodded once, almost to himself. And how are you sure? And how sure are you the Green God will give us everything, anything, after all he's done? Because I'll make him, the Angel of Death vowed. I've lost where I am. Wilbur scoffed. Right, Techno told me about you, you know. Well, I guess you told me about Techno first, with your bedtime stories. Every time I prayed to the gods, I've only ever been praying to you. I'm not much of a pious man now. I am a pious man. Not even the temptation of
I don't know
God.
if this is
Sorry,
the best time
no
for-
temptation can stray me from the path of God. I can't believe there is an extra thick Romani girl outside with no shoes on outside.
What?
Alright, let's go on in the out of context tweet. Where is it? What was the other one again? I don't remember.
The macaroni.
Hey.
Thank you for the follow.
You're welcome.
You did 5 damage to the stream boss. How do you feel about that?
There's a boss?
Yeah.
There's a bee?
There is a bee. 1 second, I need to search for the Macarena.
How do I hurt it?
Well, you can hurt it by subs, bits, donations, or follows. I don't know if continually unfollowing and following hurts it though. That might be an exploit. Don't try that, please.
1 sec, I'll do some damage to it.
God, I'm scared.
I have a question.
Yeah?
Why are you all streaming on
What?
different, like, things? Because I can only see...
I heard cannon. Oh god,
I'm
Ace,
not
what have you
streaming.
done?
And the person who's streaming
whatever.
is Peter.
Why aren't you putting a stream on Discord as well? Because I can't see Ace's Formula 1 and your Twitch at the same time.
His
Probably
internet
should've,
would
yeah.
literally kill itself.
I'm still trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. I did, Peter.
And he's,
Yeah,
what's
I saw
the,
what you
the
did,
count
and I'm
from
freaked. Why did you do
the
this?
count from Hunchback of Notre Dame? What's his name? How do you spell his name again?
Quasimodo.
Nope, that is not him.
Rollo.
Yeah, it is.
Count
Good.
Oh, the
from
count.
Not the old
not
priest
Notre
dude.
Dame.
No, did you finally figure out what I did?
Yeah, I saw it, and no, stop that.
I'll do it again.
Don't you fucking dare.
Wait until you find out I'm already negative $30.
I know you are, that's why I'm
Wait,
telling you not to do that.
I'll do it again.
Don't you fucking do it.
You want to bet? I'll do it again.
I'll fucking
I'll
kiss
gift
you.
another sub.
I'll fucking
I'll gift
kiss
another
you.
sub.
Fight,
I'll
fight,
gift a tier
fight,
3 sub.
fight,
I'll
fight.
fucking kiss you.
You don't have the money for that. Anyway,
42
back to what I was doing.
I'm already negative $37 and I bought another gift sub.
Why did you
Wilbur gave him a
Hey,
ghost of a
please
smile,
take care
but
of
I
yourself.
suppose faith is stronger when tested, right? Before Philza could say anything, Wilbur threw his arms around his father, pulling him into an embrace. Philza stiffened, a frozen, unmoving statue in his son's arms. And then he cracked. He leaned into Wilbur, his own arms going around Wilbur and pulling him close. He still remembered the last time Wilbur had allowed himself to be hugged like this by his father. He was older now, and heavier, but that would never matter. Phil had never forgotten his initial hesitation at holding Tommy. That shame would follow him forever. But after that, he promised to hold his sons for as long as they would let him. And he'd sworn never to be
You're really
the
bad at
first
going
one to let
northwest.
go.
One
Phil had
second, wait.
spent 9 months,
What the fuck?
had spent 9 years, 10 months, 3 days, and 16 hours away from his
What's
eldest son. And now in the rain, in the dark, when nobody could see him cry, he was finally home.
Thank
Wilbur
you.
buried his face in his father's shoulder, clinging on for dear life. This
Right,
isn't
right.
forgiveness, he whispered. I know, Philza whispered back, and you have a hell of a lot more explaining to do. I have the macro
One
gift in
sec.
my peripheral vision, that's all I can
Matt,
see.
is your Twitch username M the Magnificent? With like the fiery
Yes.
M? Cool.
I have synchronicity on
What are you
most of
doing?
mine.
Stop.
Nothing.
You
No.
have a
Stop
hell
it.
of a lot more explaining to do.
Stop it.
I know.
Don't you dare.
When we get Tommy back,
Fuck.
you'll have to bend over backwards to appease him. That boy holds grudges longer than I do. No, Wilbur. I know.
Fuck you!
Phil felt Wilbur nod against him.
Oh, wait until you see my bank
And
account.
that's
Oh my
where
God.
it will start. When they returned, Technoblade was waiting at the mouth of their tent, the light behind him, making him barely more than a shadow. In his left hand was a roll of bandages ready for Wilbur's nose. Wilbur found himself grinning, a quip already on his tongue, but was silenced as Techno crossed into the rain and wrapped Wilbur in his arms.
Fucking hell.
Wilbur sank wordlessly into the god's embrace, and both of them were finally warm. Forgiveness came easily with brothers, after all. The angel of death looked on quietly. He would not welcome this. He would not be welcome for this moment. Not when there was too much between the three of them still. But he knew someday he would be again. One day, the four of them would be together in a home full of sunlight, looking forward to that distant time. Philza finally felt peace. Inside the tent, the golden-haired prince slept on. How many chapters? Oh wait, yeah, we've got 2 chapters left. Alright, chapter 6. I'm not doing it.
I've been tormenting Peter, and now I'm at negative $47 or something.
I'm not paying you out of
I'm not
this.
asking to be.
I'll fucking pay you out of this, you bitch.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will. I'll break lockdown and come
I'm
down
the
and
only
pick
one
up the money
here
into
who
your bank
doesn't
account.
have their bank details known by everyone in like the group. So
I need
What?
yours and you still haven't given them
I
to
haven't
me.
sent money to any of you.
This is the inner
How
group.
would you know any of my bank details?
The-
You don't even
the-
know what bank I'm with.
The inner bank. I bet you're with Commonwealth Bank.
No.
nab.
Oh,
Nope.
Bendigo.
you just lost 10 points.
Westpac.
Yes.
Bank of
I was
America.
gonna say WAW, but like I don't know.
Are you with the
Is
Bank
that a
of
bank?
America?
Oh my god, Coco.
Why
I
the
can give you an exact number of how much I'm in negative now because
Oh, there's a
I
bank.
gifted Peter 2 subs. I'm negative $47.75.
why?
We have a
Hey,
nab
I'm really
and it's
bad
like in
at
the
going
weirdest
northwest.
spot. No, I used to think it was a nightclub.
What?
The nab in my town is in a really weird spot. And I used to think it was like a nightclub thing because it's like our nightclub right looks stupid. We have a nightclub, which is
even
like
one.
it's the funniest bit about it.
It's not even.
It's not even a nightclub, right?
It's
I
so
won't even.
shit. I've been there. It's so fucking bad. And I
Oh,
went to one in like Wodonga and Albury. It's way better up here.
Yeah, well,
What's that,
it's easy, it's close, and like a lot of my friends live near it, and that. So like that's where I'm going in November for my friend's birthday after exams finish.
It's gross.
It's gonna be shit, and we're gonna go back to someone else's house and drink even more. It's gonna
They're
be
gross
great.
there and creepy people everywhere. It's fucking great.
Alright, I'm gonna be real with you here. You're acting like I won't wear my like spiky platform boots for no reason.
Method.
Oh wait, yeah?
What's the fancy bean called?
Passerine. Do you want a link? I got the link to chapter 6.
Found it.
Are you sure you found it? There are a few named Passerine. I've had to Google it twice.
Yep, found it. I googled it and it was literally the first thing here.
Really? It's never been the first thing for me, and I'm still
It was
annoyed
the first
about
thing
it.
for me.
Other than like the Wikipedia talking about it being a type of bird, yes.
Is it a type of bird?
Yeah.
Oh shit, it's a bird.
Is the
Is
green
it?
god George
bird.
not found?
Shut the fuck up, Peter.
No, it's Carl Jacobs, obviously.
He
We kick him.
I
died.
don't know anything about Minecraft YouTube.
Good.
Mr. Beast
Yeah.
is the green god.
Peter, shut up.
He is a type of green god.
Jacksepticeye is the green god.
He is the Irish green god.
That's my hot take.
Why does this bitch look so ugly?
Yeah,
They
I know,
all
I
look
do.
ugly. They're pre-made avatars.
Ah, passerine is basically songbirds.
It's like a
Petting
pasta.
You're a pasta.
Owls
creepy
don't
pasta.
count.
Creepypastas.
Who could have seen that?
We need to read creepypastas in October.
Alright, do you want to read creepypastas? I can do that.
I thought you were going to bed because you have school in the morning.
I have school in the morning as well, and it's midnight.
I do too, but I haven't
Alright, I'm
been
gonna read you though, like, basically what came up in the Google search tab for me when I searched up creepypasta. Creepypasta characters, creepypasta wiki, creepypasta stories, creepypasta X reader, creepypasta meaning,
That's enough of that.
memes, creepypasta
I think that'll be
the killer,
scarier, honestly.
creepypasta quiz. Do you want to read it? I will do not know it, deafen. Creepypasta Sally. Do you want to read creepypasta X reader? I will go on Wattpad just for you.
Alright.
Maybe not. Maybe
I
not
wanna-
the stream.
Can I assist in this dramatic reading of what pet fanfiction?
We need to find one and like that has a bunch of characters so we can all play a different part.
Fuck off.
This is the best way for me to become a voice actor.
This is called a school production, but it's actually just a bunch of people on Discord.
a bunch of dumb ADHD, a bunch of gay neurodivergents.
Yeah, boy.
I think it's funny that
Oh.
I'm running both the Reaper and the gay flag at the same time.
It's homophobic, Peter.
Yeah. If I ever see that ship again, I'm gonna straight homophobic if they shoot me.
They're gonna shoot you more just for that, by the way. I would do
They're
it.
even more homophobic.
I have the homophobic flag up in its purple, blue, and pink glory, alright?
There is a homophobic flag?
Yes.
It's my flag with people, but like, every time someone would ask me if I was gay on Omegle, I'd say, no, I'm incredibly homophobic in a very serious voice.
and also just like
With
show
the
tits.
flag in the
like,
background,
no,
by
they
the
got-
way.
Show tits. No, they got. They would chop.
My
what was the
personal
thing?
favorite was when I got in, like, multiple times, people were like, oh, show your boobs, and I'm like, I lost them in a tragic accident 2 years ago, and then it was just, and then,
Me
and then
turning
they'd
to,
like,
"Damn, you
skip
got a
us, and I was so sad every time.
Well, they'd be the ones who are like, damn, you got a good regrowth rate.
You guys said that, no one else, because they couldn't see my tits from where from where I was sitting with my camera. A separate thing that I did with my flag was that some kid was like, "Are you gay?" And I had like basically been hate crimed about 3 times, 4 times in that last hour. So I decided that I was gonna, like, I was fucking around again. I looked my camera dead in the eye and went, "No, I am incredibly homophobic." To which the kid was kind of confused, but was like, "Whatever." And someone in his VC with him, I wish I was kidding, was like, "How the fuck does that work?" And then we left. We left. I never came back. I never saw that kid again. I also moaned at a guy, but that's a different problem.
Mine did several guys.
One very specific, because he did it at me and I did it back, and then I left. And I never saw him again. He called me, he called me a few slurs, and I did it at him, and he was like, "What the fuck?" And I left.
Like, oh,
And
don't
here we
degrade me,
see
I'm into that.
An
Hey,
example
what should I
of the
sell
muffin
first?
in hats courting ritual.
It wasn't a courting ritual, it was defense.
Okay.
Hey, which things should I sell first?
Your dick.
That's not one of the options.
Grog chest.
Grow chest?
Oh, Peter, I'd look at chat.
Oh, you shithead.
For those who aren't watching the stream, I just fucking redeemed reverse.
Again.
I don't know
I've
what that
broken the
means.
settings again. Oh, there we go.
What's reverse reverse?
It means I
He
have to
gets to
Where
play
all
with
the-
reverse controls.
I'm too lazy to get the thing thing back up. So we're just gonna
Alright, I'm
guess.
gonna help. Muffin, I'm helping you out here.
Wait. Okay. Gosh darned it. At 12:29, I am fixing my controls. And also
hello,
at
Will.
12:29,
Jesus Christ, he
I
scared the
can
shit out of
swear
me.
again.
Why do they look so unnerving in this
He
game?
looks similar to his real life counterpart. Look at Will Buxton.
Oh,
I don't know who that is.
It's this guy.
I spelled Will wrong.
B-U-X-T-O-N, I
I'm
think.
here to sell you some stuff.
At least I think that's his name.
Hey, boss, I found a box. Would you like it?
Hey boss, I found a bomb.
I got it, okay.
Why is that worker so, like, flat?
Oh, I was so confused on why I was still groggy, but then I remembered that my controls are not correct.
That worker ain't got no cheeks on him.
What?
Yeah.
The chick behind him. She
Can
ain't
you
got
stop
no
sexualizing
eyes.
the workers, please? You're creating a very unsafe work environment.
I don't work for that team.
Oh, alright then.
I work for Red Bull.
Keep going. Go ahead.
You slut!
Unfortunately, 3D scanning technologies does not allow people to have thick buttons.
I think Muffin could disprove that.
Could you?
3D scanning
What?
technology.
Wait, could you 3D print
Everyone's
a
got
new
no
box?
ass. What the
For
hell
legal
is going
reasons,
on?
that's a
I know,
joke.
right?
I don't know
Look at the
anything
fucking
about
guy with the head. Oh wait, they all have headsets on. That's not.
Look
the
at
one on the
guy
far
with
left, he's
headset
like-
and a group of people with headsets.
There was like 7 people with headsets standing around.
And none of them have any ass.
God, imagine not having an ass that's like 1.5
The
times
drivers are
thicker than your
dumpy thick
thigh.
though. The drivers are dumpy thick though.
If your ass isn't at least 1/3 of your body weight, I don't want it.
I think
Alright.
mine is at least half.
Too dumpy.
I don't know if
You'd
I have
know.
an ass or if I'm just fat.
I'm a little bit of both.
I can't escape. I have like, it's so funny. It's like, oh yeah, you know, non-binary
escape,
wears
especially when I'm
literally
around.
like quite mass clothing. Nah, fam, ideal female body. Big tits, good ass.
Muffin, I'm a genius. I just
And I
haven't
don't let
let
you
go of
forget
the
it either.
button.
Is the funnier thing.
I know. I'm not even like self-conscious about it often enough.
No.
Except the funniest bit is when I'm trying to like do something and like at school when I'm wearing like the shit I normally wear,
Give me
or I'm wearing just pants and a shirt or something and nothing else.
The
And like
funniest thing
people
is,
realize for the first time that, oh my god, it's not just baggy clothing, I actually have a dumpy.
I love the time when we were at yours doing something, and I was gonna go to bed, and then we started comparing boob size for no reason. It's like, yeah, she's a bit more than a handful. Like, we were just standing in your fucking doorway doing the
We're
shit, and
sit-
like,
By the way, so
Ambitious
so
recall.
my bedroom, right, is that we've got this one hallway that goes throughout the whole house. Every bedroom is connected to it. Right, and we have bedrooms that go basically the whole length of the house on the side. Because how our house is set up is we've got basically bedrooms on one side, and then we've got the hallway, and then we've got like everything else on the other side. Aside from like a few things that are actually still on the bedroom side, like the
I'm not even
laundry,
necessary to yet.
toilet, and one of the bathrooms. Well, actually both bathrooms are, but like that's not the point. So
Gonna go
we're
make myself something to eat. Bye.
bye.
Hey.
So we're
Bye.
standing there in my doorway, and I'm like a very central room.
You are
I'm
the
like
very
right next to the
central
kitchen.
room.
I can literally like see whenever someone's cooking food and smell it if my door's open. Also means that like everyone can hear when my mum sneezes, so like that's that you know that's it comes in par, you know.
I think people in Queensland can hear when my sister sneezes.
Oh man, my mum sneezed in the lounge room this afternoon when my door was open to cool my room down, and it was kind of funny because I was like, oh, she sneezed, and the freaking both dumbasses in the call with me, aka aka reverse no curse boy, and the Mr. and just sorry, not Mr. and but like crashed into a wall person here.
shut up!
I danced for 6
But like
minutes.
we know, do not worry, XX, and it's like I wasn't worrying, but alright.
Oh,
You should
God, it's been 2.25 hours of streaming.
Apparently, it just chose to do spins at the moment.
I do like the maid dress thing. That's funny. We should crowdfund to get Peter his
Just
maid dress.
donate 41 subs and you got it.
I don't have that much
No,
money.
41 subs is the
Neither.
bunny. Get it right.
Oh well, same thing.
It says, "Oh, bunny maid." My mistake, sir.
It's still a maid.
I remember at one point I was like, "Well,
The
if
regular maid is
get there,
100
I'll do it in
followers.
solidarity. I won't stream it or anything, but I'll buy a maid dress in solidarity." And I don't even think if I'll do that anymore.
Yeah, the maid outfit is the 100 followers. The bunny maid is the subs. And it's
My
scary that
mistake.
it's 18% already.
You're welcome.
I
I'm
hate
in
that.
I have
Heavily in
more
debt now because of
followers
this.
than you, and you have you have affiliate. What is this?
This is called rigging
You don't have the
system.
viewership.
I don't know why I don't have the viewership. I'm funny sometimes.
It's
You
called
don't
rigging,
speak for half the streams, to be honest, but that's not really it.
It's called
Well,
rigging
this-
the system.
I have both my
cheated
accounts
my
watching
way.
it.
It's really weird. I generally have my account watching. Generally. Not all the
helpful if
time.
you have your
Depends how my
phone
CPU's
watching
doing.
Watch it on your
If
phone.
she's not doing too well, or my phone turns off a lot of the time.
Well, tell
Also, I'm
someone
watching
to-
it on my data, so I don't. Because
Yeah.
you know the Wi-Fi is utter dog shit for some reason. Even though my router that I use is literally like a meter and a half away. By the way, I can
Can't
see
drop
it.
the
It
sails.
glows. But anyway, I'm gonna go to bed.
Oh, something broke.
What?
Hole?
Whatever you said just got muffled out.
No hole.
Peter is struggling.
Oh, hole.
Oh, 56 degrees. I'm sorry we went up. Apparently me having 5 Chrome tabs open is too many. Chrome tabs
Wonder if I'll,
too many.
wonder if I'll wake up at a decent time. You'll know because I'll probably just sit in a VC on my own until someone joins.
New
I don't even
plan.
know what I have
It
tomorrow.
has been 2 hours and 20 minutes. Almost 20 minutes. I've lowered my emissary flag.
scrapings, because why not? Ugh!
You wanna speak not yawning?
No.
Yeah, maybe try
What
that.
the hell did you say? What did you say?
I'm gonna turn Twitter pings on for someone. Anyway,
I need to stop making it so you have curse notifications. Besides
I already
Involve.
have
This is how the
Velvet's
Reapers are
I
meant to
mean,
be.
Velvet not involved.
notifications on. You ain't shit, honey.
I'll make him better.
Woo! There I go.
I
Oh,
have
wait, I'm still above
AO3
water.
tags,
No, not above
fucking
water.
Velvet, and then anything I'm interested in.
I'm inside the anchor.
I was about, my mind instantly said,
Sounds
so you turn my notifications off.
I'm still on the
Don't
ship.
test me, I might.
Oh,
Huh?
I've gone through the anchor.
Don't
again.
test me, I might.
Oh god. Oh god. I'm clipping into the wall. I'm still
Yeah,
on the
good
ship.
Alright.
How far can I get?
Not
Oh,
far.
there goes the ship.
I forgot
Oh,
my
nothing
name was
matters.
ASG. Yeah, they're gonna sleep. They said that the whole time.
Okay.
I'm so glad we got extended the lockdown since I did not want to do a restaurant service today.
Yeah.
Is there anything
Did
out
you
here?
know what it was gonna be? I did.
What?
Breakfast.
Oh, fuck that!
So,
Mhm.
What, breakfast in the middle of the day or is it a morning service?
why is there
Starting at
sharks?
9:30
Am I
instead of just
floating?
arriving at 9:30, so you had to arrive at like
I wanna go.
6.
How did I get to the
Fuck that!
surface?
I'll do that for a real job, not school.
Oh, I know why I
Oh,
got to the
you're kidding me.
surface.
Yeah. I might just get a job at Coles as like night packing or something.
I applied at Domino's. And they said they were gonna get back to me sometime this week, but also lockdown happened again. Peter, you're still in reverse, aren't you?